Hello. There might be a little bit of scuff. my thing isn't working right now. Hold up. I forgot what email I used. Mix It Up is down. Ooh. Wait. Okay, I think it works. I have to connect something else, but for now, it's working. My stuff is working. There we go. Hello, everybody. Hello, how are you? How is everybody? You like my very cool sunglasses? Hold on, let me move my mic. I can't hear myself right now. I can't hear myself right now because I don't have my headphones on. I can't hear anything, so it's fine. We're just gonna deal with it, you know? I've always wondered how people like do they do that? Like on screen, do they do whatever? Is that what they do? Is that what people do with their life models? They're just like, hello, I'm moving around, like I don't know. I feel like I'm playing with like a Barbie doll or something when I do this. It's like, hello everybody, welcome to the stream. This is the entire stream. I just talk like this. Ooh, it's like the equivalent of like jingle jingle, jingle jingle. Hello, jingle jingle. Hello. Ooh. Ooh. I feel like I'm an earthquake. Yeah, these glasses are kind of like, they don't fit. But they look cool, so. I can look at you over the glasses. Hello. I'm gonna move back a little bit. I'm a little close. All right. Oh, I forgot what I was gonna talk about. I forgot what I was doing. I got distracted with myself. What did I do? What did I do? Hello. I'm kidding. Hi. What did I do today? I'm starting stream a little bit late, like very, very late. Totally normal. Totally normal Kyo stream. I say I'm gonna start stream at like 10 and then I start at midnight because as per usual. As with the case, these are my swag glasses, by the way. These are my super cool. These are my super cool glasses. They make me 10 times cooler, yeah. I'm not gonna put on my headphones. I don't know why. I took a shower earlier. I don't know if you guys know this. I'm just gonna tell you. Like half the time when I stream, I'm not wearing pants, but I have a reason because like every single time before stream, I speed run my nightly like routine. So like I take a shower, I like change into pajamas, I like basically get ready for bed, but without getting ready for bed. Like I do all my skincare and I do all that, but I do a majority of that stuff, and then by the time I sit down in front of my computer, I just do like the rest. Like I'll take like my medicine, I'll take like I don't know, I'll floss. TMI, I floss. I do my skincare and I do my stuff, and I'm just like sitting in front of the computer watching my countdown. You know that 5 minute countdown at the beginning of stream? At the beginning of stream? That is the counter as I'm just speed running through my entire night routine. I speed run it very fast. I'm like, okay, like time to put moisturizer on, time to do this, time to do that, and then I'm like doing like 5 things at the same time, watching the countdown go down, and then by the time I start, I'm like, hey guys, sitting here with like no pants on. Sitting with no pants on, like just like kind of damp. My hair's in a towel right now. I'm drying my hair. It's dripping. That's why I'm not wearing my headphones, because my towel's on my head. But yeah, now you know. Every single time before stream, I'm always just I'm always just doing my nighttime routine. That way, by the time I end the stream, that's how I can go and stream very late, because by the time I finish, I can just go straight to bed. I can just go right next to me. Like right next to me is my bed. You can't see, but to my, like right here where I'm looking. Is this my left or my right? That's my left. That's your right. I go to my bed and then I can lie down and I can sleep for the night. So yeah. So I think somebody asked like the other day, they were like, why do you stream so late? Because I have bad time management and I take like, listen, I posted my schedule one time on Twitter and it was basically like this. Hold on one second, let me blow my nose. Okay, my nose is clear. There we go. I have my schedule, right? I come home 5 o'clock, like to 5:30, and then I start making dinner at 6:30. And then by the time I finish dinner, it's like 9. Yes, it takes me like 4 hours to make dinner and eat. I sit there, right? And then afterwards, I come downstairs and then I contemplate if I should like take a shower or not. And then by that time it's like 9, so then I'm like, okay, I should go take a shower. And then I stand in the bathroom. I like change, you know, like when you go take a shower, you take off all your clothes, and I stand there in front of the bathroom sink, just staring at my reflection, just like, wow, should I take a shower? And I'm like, I need to go like get wet, right? I need to go take a shower. And then I just stand there for like a little bit, contemplating life. And then after that, I go and I finally turn on the shower, and then I go stand in the water, and I'm like, ah, yes, cold, because I have no hot water in my shower. Very sad. I know, I don't have hot water. I haven't had hot water. I haven't had a hot shower in months. That's just how it is when you live in the mountains. It's very sad. And then afterwards, my shower is very quick. I take a shower in like 5 minutes. That's why I dread going in the shower. I'm like, it's gonna be cold. And then I speed run my like washing my face and everything. And then I get out of the shower and then I pet myself dry. And then I'd go through my skincare routine, and then I like, you know, I change and whatever. And then afterwards, by that time, it's like maybe I stood in front of the mirror in the bathroom naked for like 2 hours. So by that time, it's like 11, right? And then I said I was going to start a stream at 10:30, 2 hours ago. And so then by the time I click start stream, I'm like speed running through the rest of my skincare routine and stuff like that. And then by that time, it's like 12. And then that's how we start stream. We start stream at midnight. There we go. Boom. Boom clap. There we go. That's how it goes. Every single time. If you ever wonder, like, why the heck does Kale stream so late? Especially on Fridays. That's why. But it's fine, because not only do you get me, like, half hyped up on sugar and half, like, sleep deprived, as per usual. Well, not really on most days. On weekdays, like you see me on Tuesdays, I'm like pretty chill, right? I'm pretty normal. It's a sleep deprivation. It's a sleep deprivation hitting. Oh shoot, I just remembered. Boy. Uh-oh. Okay, I ignore that. I just realized I had an assignment that I should probably do, but that's okay. It's not due until like Tuesday. I'll do it tomorrow. It's okay. It's fine. We'll figure it out. There we go. I had a. If you're wondering why I'm so like hyper right now, it's because 1, I can't hear myself, and 2, I had like a chai latte without milk. Because I have a relative, well, not a relative, my brother. He works at the coffee store, and every single time he always messages me, and he's like, what drink do you want? What drink? What drink? What do you want? What drink? Is it drink? And then I look up online. I go to like reddit.com. I'm like, what drink looks interesting? And then I go and give him like the worst combination of drinks ever possible to try because I'm curious. I want to know what they taste like, right? I want to know what they taste like. I want to know what they taste like. So then today's concoction of the day, by the way, was a chai. I told him I have the text message I sent to him, literally. I will read it. I write, white mocha frap with caramel and chai. And then I clarified. I said, I want 1 part dark caramel, regular pumps of chai, and white mocha syrup. Do you know what he brought back? I told him I wanted a chai frap. And you know what he came back with? Do you know what he came back with? He was like, here you go. And I'm like, this is just straight up chai with like ice blended and white mocha. And he was like, yeah, that's what you wanted. I was like, no. What do you do when you make a chai latte? And he's like, yeah, you bake 5 pumps of chai and like milk, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's an iced chai latte. There's milk in there. Why the heck does this frappuccino not have milk? You just literally just blended straight up chai in the blender with ice. I was like, why is this thing so strong? So then what I ended up doing is that I had to water it down. I had the whole thing, by the way. I had like, he brings back a venti, and then I poured it onto a cup. And then I watered it down. We had like almond milk. And then I watered it down with milk. A lot of milk and a lot of water. And then I just had that. So if you're wondering why I'm like a little bit like, it's because I'm like a little bit hyped up on sugar. And also I can't hear myself. Yippee! Not yippee, I can't hear myself, but like yippee. I don't know, yippee. Yippee for no reason. Hype. Yes, hype, excited. Today we're going to be playing, what's it called? Just Crow Things. Yes, Just Crow Things. It's like a cross between Untitled Goose Game and Little Kitty Big City. Basically one of those types of things. Also like Goat Simulator or something. Basically you get to run around as a bird and cause chaos. And that's pretty much all I know about the game. I don't know like the rest of it. I just saw like trailer gameplay and stuff, and it's like a very cute bird, like a very cute crow, just going around and like flying through the city, and that's it. That's all I knew. I was like, you know what, bird, bye. I'll play it. I'll play anything related to birds. And that's what this is. This is Bird Week. Every single day, just think about birds. There you go, Bird Week. It is not an actual holiday or anything, it's just birds. And then that's what I wanted. I was like, yes, let's... Birds. Yes. Also, last week, not last week. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I believe. March 25th? March 24th, actually, I think, is my Twitch anniversary. And also yesterday was the day... the first day I joined Twitch? Yeah, in March. So, March-ish, April-ish. That's the time when I joined Twitter and started my entire like streaming career. What was that, 2 years ago? I don't know. I don't remember. I like to tell people for fun, by the way, if anybody is on YouTube watching and they're like, hey, why do you have so many little videos on YouTube? I'm going to tell every single person if this video is going to get saved. Like this video is going to die from Twitch. Because Twitch is removing the video limit on VODs. So it is just going to stay on YouTube. But if you ever look at this on YouTube and then you're like, wow, why do you have so little videos? Hello, YouTube people. Hello, VOD game. Hello, people from the future. Hello, me from the future, because I know you will be watching. Hi. Hello. Hi. I'm kidding. Not really. I should stop saying I'm kidding. I need to take myself more seriously. I should be like, no. I'm going to fully commit to everything that I say. Hello. Hello, future people. If you're watching this, wake up. Wake up. They're trying to contact you. Wake up. Me from the future, I was distracted. What was I going to say? Uh-oh. 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 What was I gonna say? I forgot. Uh-oh. Wait, I'm trying to remember. Hold up. I was trying to remember. People. YouTube, yes. Oh. No, it's gone. I forgot. My brain is gone. I'll remember later when I keep rambling. If I keep going, it'll pop back up and I'll be like, oh yeah. I'm trying to remember and I cannot remember. I'm just gonna move on. Today I got a SSD card, not SSD card. I got an SD card, a micro SD card, because as I mentioned previously in the last stream, I got a audio player, a DAP, digital audio player. A digital audio player, and that allows me to play music. I haven't gotten the digital audio player, but I did get a expandable storage for it, so that would be nice because I will be able to upload songs, all of my music downloaded, and I will be able to put it onto my MP3 player. Well, portable music, whatever music player, because I am tired of carrying around my phone. I'm tired of carrying my phone for music and just having it like run, and then I would have to listen to ads every 30 seconds. So now I will just be able to listen to music unprompted permanently. All over. Yes, forever. On repeat. Well, not on repeat, but like, you know what I mean. Like, untapped, unparalleled, unwired, permanent, on. Yeah. I like how... Okay, have you ever watched any of my past vlogs and you're like, wow, kill? Why does your mood just shift between like, hey guys, yeah, today, so I was going to do this thing and then I did this and then blah, 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 blah. And then now you're like, you watch this and like normally like this and I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry. The whiplash between like me half like, am I sleep deprived? Am I tired? No, not really. What time did I go to bed last night? 2. No, I went to bed at 1. Yeah, I went to bed early. Heck yeah. And then I woke up at 7:20 and I went back to sleep and I woke up again and I was like, oh my god, it is 7:45. I'm going to be very late. So I was like 10 minutes late. Technically 5. Wink wonk, because if your manager tells you that, hey, I want you to arrive by 8:05, that means she's like, I want you to arrive anytime between, like, you have to arrive no later than 8:05. That means that my arrival time should be 8:05, and if I'm late, that just means I'm 5 minutes. Like, if I arrive at 8:10, that means I'm 5 minutes late. No, I'm like, that's not true, but that's how it is to me in my brain. So if you tell me like arrive at 8, I'll be like, okay, I'll arrive at 8. Maybe 8:01 if I'm like running late. 8:02. I had a manager before my current position. They would literally stare at me as I was walking in through the door at like 8:01, and she'd be like tapping her wrist like, you are. And then she would hold up the index finger at me and be like, 1. You are 1 minute late. And I'm like, 1 minute. Really? 1 minute? And then now my current manager is like, I want you to arrive at 8. I want you to arrive no later than 8:05. And I'm like, okay, bet. I'm going to arrive at 8:05 every single day on the dot. I'm going to arrive at 8:05 every day on the dot. Exactly. Hell yeah. It's okay. It's like, you know, when you're at high school and then your teachers are like, if you're late, you're late because you showed up after the bell rang. But if the teacher shows up late themselves and you arrive before the teacher, even though the bell's already rang, that means the teacher's late. And if you arrive before the teacher arrives, that means you're not late. Because how are you able to tell that they're late if they haven't caught you, right? And by the way, I used to like, in high school, I used to show up late every single day. After the bell had rang, they had this thing where they made you stand outside in the hallway. So they would yell at people. So at my school, at my high school, they had this thing where they would play the announcements, right? The daily announcements in the morning at about like school started at I think 8 o'clock, and then they would play the announcements at like 8:15, 8:10. And through the daily announcements, they would play the national anthem. Yeah, and then everybody, no matter where you are in the building, you had to stand and you had to stand still and then sing along to the national anthem. They made everybody do it. And then if they saw you in the hallway, literally, they would come out of the classroom, like there would be somebody in the hallway. If you were in the hallway as their name as a teacher, they would yell at you and they'd be like, "Stop moving. Stop it. Stand still for the national anthem." Oh my god, my computer's gonna restart. No, not now. Sorry, my Windows just popped up and it was like, "We're gonna restart your computer." Oh no! I was like, "Hell no! Why are you doing this?" Not in the middle of not in the middle of my awesome storytelling. So yes, they would yell at you in the middle of the hallway. So what I would do, I was just playing like, if the teacher wasn't looking, I'd just start speed walking, and then like. And you basically walk out of the stairwell and you look around and you're like, is there a teacher? No. And then you just start walking. And if they see you and they turn, it's like playing red light, green light, right? Red light, green light, and then they see you and then you stop and you freeze because they're looking at you. And then you just like, I just try to like slowly inch my way really slowly that they're not like noticing that I'm not moving that very much. I'm like, I shuffle, like, you know when you put one foot, like, you slide it forward, and then you, like, slide the other foot, and you're, like, creeping slowly. That's what I would do. And then I would arrive, because I would be late, because I don't leave on time, but also because I would ride my bike to school. So I would show up, and then every single time I would go to this one class, I knew the teacher personally because I would sit directly in front of him. In high school, I don't know why, but nobody likes to sit in front of the teacher. Nobody likes to sit in front of the teacher, except for me. I would arrive late to this class every single morning, and I would sit there in front of him. I would, like, take my helmet off, like my bike helmet. I would put it on the desk in front of me. It would make the loudest noise because it's like a helmet hitting, like, a wooden desk. It'd be like, bam, and I would sit right in front of him, and I'd be like, "Hello, sir, good morning." And he'd look at me, and he'd be like, "Hi, Kyo." I'm marking you down as late, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care. Hello, welcome. How are you? How are you? Hello there. Yes, that was my story, and then I would do that like every morning. I would just be like, and then what's even funnier is because I changed. So what they would do if you were late, they would put out an automated voicemail too, and they would send a message to all of the like people who were late, and they said, "Good morning, this is so and so principal from blah 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 high school. Your daughter, blah Kyo Kamiya, was late for first period this morning, and blah blah blah. There was no action needed, blah blah blah. We're just letting you know that she's been late." And I had that call because my parents didn't want to keep getting phone calls about it, so I had that number that was supposed to be for parents on my phone. So I would get the calls, just constant voicemails of, "Kyo Kamiya was late for school this morning," and I'm like, haha, I'm getting the call, so then I would just hang up on them. I would block that number. I'm like, yeah, I know I'm late. My parents don't need to know that. Just about to go to bed? Yeah. Happy bedtime. I was gonna say happy birthday, but it's not your birthday. Happy bedtime. Good night. Yeah, hi Nitro. Yeah, my swag glasses. My cool glasses. They up my coolness by not 50%. 10%. Because I'm already cool. Yes. Yeah, yeah, heck yeah. I've been to the principal's office 3 times. I've been sent to the principal's office 3 times. That's unrelated to the detention. That's unrelated to lateness. One of them I will not talk about. The other 2 are fine. But we're not going to get into those stories because I already told them. I told them like 2 years ago. Not 2 years ago, maybe a long time ago. I don't even remember when I told those stories. I maybe vaguely, but I don't remember. You know that what's it called? The rice purity test. You know the rice purity test and how it like ranks of like how much you've accomplished or how much like basically like a bucket list, but like some of the things on there do not do. Those are very highly illegal. Don't do it. I will say that a majority of those I have not done, but like half of the ones, like almost half of the ones related to like some type of like law, I have to check off. I have to check it off. Ooh, the wheel. Hold up, water. Uh-oh. Hold on, let me get out my wheel. Where is it? Let's spin the wheel, it is Jeopardy time. Here is the wheel. Oh, wrong one. Roulette. Here is my roulette wheel. No, where did I put my wheel? Oh no, I lost it. I need to organize my sources. I do this every single time. Uh-oh. Yes, I forgot I did that. Why are you this color? This is yellow. Holy moly. It's not really suffering. I'm just wondering why that color is showing up. Hello? Filters? Chroma key? Hello? Wait, let me change it to this color. Okay. Oh no, that's even worse. Hold up. Brighter green? Okay. For some reason, yellow is getting picked up as green. Why? This is my wheel, by the way. Here we go. Let's spin it. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Maybe not. Voice request. Voice request. What would you like me to say? I'll say anything. Well, not everything, but like, you know what I mean, like whatever. Thank you for redeeming that. It's been a hot minute since somebody redeemed that. What would you like me to say? I'll do voice requests. Anything from like a copy pasta to like a meme to like I don't know, to like any random line to I don't know. Hello? I just got a notification that OBS crashed. Did OBS crash? Am I like here? Hello? Hello? So apparently when it tells you you've crashed and it says, would you like to report this? And it tells you, would you like to report this to OBS that you've crashed? And I click no. Apparently that crashes my thing. I was watching the message and I was like, should I like click on it? And apparently that's what it does. So yeah. Oh. Okay, let me. These double as my reading glasses. Hold up. I have a background in biology and chemistry. I know how to read chemical names. Okay. Pneumonomal. Oh my god. Pneumonal ultramicroscopical volcanulosinosis. pneumonolotral microscopic siliconovolcanosis. There we go. Easy. You should get me to read the entire chemical formula for titanium. It's just, I forgot the entire word. It was literally just like there's a video out there of a guy reading the entire thing. It took him 3 hours to read it. He's like sitting there on like a white desk. There's a plan in front of him and it just slowly dies the entire time. Like from the beginning of the video all the way to the end, the guy's just reading a book with the entire thing. It is the longest word. Well, I think it used to be. It used to be back in like 2014 or something. It used to be the world's longest word ever. With like, I think 37,000 letters. And it's literally the chemical like name for titanium. You can look it up. But yeah, that's there's a lot of chemical names out there that are just insanely long, and it's not just the shortened form of it, it's the whole thing. And then they decided that nobody was ever going to use that word, so they just gave it a different name. But can you imagine having to type that out? Can you imagine, like, yeah, we're going to put out a research paper and we're going to have to put in this word. And then afterwards they have to abbreviate it, but for like continuity's sake or whatever, they were like, yeah, let's spell out the entire thing. Right? Yes, thank you. Close enough. That's just how it goes, you know? Is that even a real word, that the one that you just sent? I don't think that's real. That doesn't look real. Because if you know, I guess, Latin, or not Latin, but like a little bit of Latin, right? I think it's very useful to know Latin root words because there is a lot of science things that's like kind of are rooted in the words. So if you know what most of the root words are, you can be able to understand anything. I would stay, but it's late, so good night. Good night. Thank you for stopping by, and thank you for the voice request. Yes, so like pharmaceutical stuff is pretty important, or pretty useful to know, like at least a little bit of Latin. But they have stopped teaching Latin in schools, so we are a little bit, who knows? Maybe in the future they'll be like, I don't know what this word means. But it's also a detriment because you know how they say whenever you go buy something and they're like, don't buy anything you can't pronounce. And I'm like, well, I learned quack. Yes. I learned chemistry in school. I learned like a little bit of Latin root words. I know my pharmaceutical stuff. I know health things. I know biology. I know medical terminology. I can pronounce I can pronounce most things on bottles because it's not that hard. It's like titanium dioxide. It's like, I can pronounce that. If you were to break, I never really understood that argument in the first place too, because they're like, don't buy anything on a bottle that you can't pronounce, in his way to like dissuade people away from like chemicals and all like fillers and like preservatives and all that, whatever, blah, 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 right? They tell you not to do that. But if you ever break down anything organic, everything's made of chemicals, everything's made of atoms, everything's made of something. You can break down an apple into its chemical components and you will not be able to pronounce anything. It's still an apple. It's still healthy. It's like, there's chemicals. Like, everything breaks down into a chemical. Like, everything is made of something. That's the rule of alchemy, and that's the rule of physics. Everything's made of something, you know? Everything's made of like, you could break it down into chemical bonds. You could break it down into atoms. They're all the same. It's all the same. Chemical bonds are basically just atoms just in chains. They're just patterns. It's just pattern recognition. It's not that hard. But when you try to tell that to somebody who's all like, oh, I only eat healthy, I only eat like natural good foods, like, you do realize that half the things that you eat is not just like, oh, I'm having magnesium because it's good for my digestion. Magnesium is also a chemical. Magnesium is also something. It's not like, yes, it might be found in the wild. It's a type of mineral, it's a type of rock, but it's also a chemical. And you don't find, they're not going out to somewhere in the cave and then extracting pure rocks from the walls of a cave and bringing it back and be like, pure magnesium, I'm gonna go format this into a pill. No. They make synthetic things. I've been yapping for 40 minutes. I have been yapping for 40 minutes. No. I think my hair's dry. Hold up. Let me take it. Yeah. Sorry, I have to shake my hair out like a dog. Okay, well, my hair's in my face. People with long hair don't get layers. They get in your face, and it's very hard to manage. My hair is long and is layered. Very long. But I like layers because I think it looks nice. And also it's like easier manageable because it's not as like heavy, you know, when you have layers. It's like not as thick. So it's pretty good. I also like having long hair over short hair. In like my opinion, because having long hair is easier to manage. When it's longer, because then you could just like, you know, tuck it behind your ear or whatever, and you could tie it up and you can like do things with it, and you can have like different hairstyles and they're all nice. Like I could put it up if I want it out of my face, but if I had short hair, you can't tie it up. It's like permanently like in your face. Like I hate when my hair is like in my eyes specifically, and then I can't see. That's why I have hair clips. Do you see this? I have hair clips because it's going in my eyeballs and I can't see. And then I do this thing where if I have my hair like in my face, I will literally just like toss it over my shoulder. And then they're like, oh my gosh, you're so like fancy. You're so fancy. Like you toss your hair over your shoulders like a model or whatever. And I'm like, no, my hair is just constantly in my face. I just don't like hair in my face. Hi Deep, welcome. I don't like hair in my face. It's time to burn the city. Hello. What up? Oh wow, that's new. Wow. I look like I aged like 30 years. Short hair and these glasses makes me look like a teacher. This makes me look like a teacher. Okay. I look like a librarian. Okay. I was like, huh, that's interesting. That's new. Wow. Okay. Oh, what was I doing? What? My God. Posture attack. I'm already. Oh no, I'm not. I'm shrimping. Kind of. Really. A little bit. A little bit shrimping. You know, just a mild shrimp. Just what's it called? A moderate shrimp. Just a little bit of a hunch. But Okay, I will sit properly again. I have to move my legs. You know, recently I got compression socks. I recently got compression socks because ooh. Hello. I recently got compression socks because I sit a lot and are you just redeeming every single thing on my You're just redeeming all the channel points? Why? I moved all of my stuff. And I had to move all my stuff. I had to like change the way I was sitting. Like I sit in my default position really. I fold one leg underneath the other leg. But anyway, I got a pair of compression socks, right? And I was like wearing them. And they're quite nice, by the way. If you ever have the opportunity to like wear compression socks, it's like kind of comfortable. Like they take a little bit getting used to. Also, by the way, I need to fix that. Hold on one second, let me fix something. Oh, there you are. I need to fix something. Hold up. Why is my commands doing this? I know it does this, and I meant to change it. Twitch channel points here. Bam. Stop redeeming everything. Wait, I need to fix something. Unlock command. Save. And then this one. Unlock command. Save. Wow. You redeemed like everything that I had. Unlock command. Save. I think. Unlock command. I have to do this for every single thing. Thank you. Because how this works, how my channel points work, is that for some reason, it waits for one thing to finish before it goes to the next. I swear to God, I don't know why. Hold on, let me do this. Can I... let me do this. Let me play. Test. There we go, okay. Okay, yeah, there we go, I fixed it. I have it set so that now everything should be unlocked so that they can run at the same time. Because before, it was waiting for one to finish before doing the other. So if I... Ah, shoot. I almost like, did that. I almost did an unlock command for, like... I almost closed it. I almost deleted it. Oopsies. There we go. I fixed it. And then Alan, I'll do this. What? Let's see if I can... Yeah, there we go. 5 apologetic boom. Wow, I moved far back. 5 apologetic booms. Why? Get my honk. My honk. Oh no, we've lost. Honk. There you go. Nor my... There. I have a bonk. That's my bonk. I should play that. If it, like, I should get Sari so that whenever it bonks a bot, whenever somebody gets like banned in chat, because we get a couple bots once in a while here from Sari. Sari bonks them. I should just have that play and I'll be like, oh, another one bites the dust, another one got sniped. Another bot got sniped. Because I'll see it at the corner of my eye and I'm like, oh, Sari's done it again. Sari's got him. Why am I over here? How's everyone's night? Good. Let me move closer. I could stare at you. This is actually kind of cute. This is like a cute combination, you know, like short hair with the glasses and...
Hello there.
Ears. Hello there. Hello. You know, I originally I have my sound redeems set up for like specific purposes. So my hello there was for people who wanted to say hi, but they didn't want to type in chat, but they just wanted to like, say hi and be like oh lurker, be like hello. That was there. And then like, same thing with the snake Metal Gear Solid sound effect, like the do. That's also like the alert was like hello, welcome. The shades, yeah. Very Miami. Oh yeah. It's the weather's getting warmer. It's just time to break out the shades, and I want to go for a like a drive, like a bam. Very GTA 6, yes. I want to ride in a convertible. That's what these feel like. I want to ride in a convertible. I want to ride in a convertible and be like, where? Right? Oh yeah, convertible. I've never actually been in a convertible, but I heard that it blows you like it blows stuff all over the place. Like if you're wearing a hat or if you're wearing like your hair down or whatever, it just blows your hair all over your face and like just very windy. If you ever stood in the wind, that's what it's like. By the way, when my hair changes, I'm gonna let you know all of my stuff is just gonna like my toggles are gonna go off again. Ride in a convertible, sip soda from a glass bottle. Ah yes, the true 90s style. Like bottle pops and I don't know. Sodas in a glass bottle. I miss those. There was like this one brand that I liked. Well, they still exist, I think. They're called Jones. I like the cream soda version. They're really nice. Cream soda? I love cream soda. Cream soda flavored soda. Oh, it's so nice. Very good. What's your soda flavor? What's your favorite soda flavor? That's my favorite. Although I don't really like the Fanta flavor of cream soda. I don't know. I think the cream soda version of the cream soda version of Fanta is a little bit too sweet for me, but I don't really like Fanta. Like I'll have it if it exists, but I prefer like, I don't know, the grape flavor or something. I keep doing this because my face moves in front of the microphone and it makes me look mad. Makes me look mad. I have it rigged so that like when I move my eyebrows down, they do this. But beforehand, if I don't have the middle part moved down, I can actually get it to like look very concerned. It just I move my eyebrows down, but like the middle parts don't move, so I just look like this. When I move my eyebrows down, I'm like, hello, are you okay? As of recently, I like straight cola. Ooh, like no ice, just straight up cola. I used to enjoy Fanta, then I aged and was like, pure syrup is kind of mid. Oh boy. Yeah, I used to like. I don't like soda in the first place. Actually, I don't enjoy soda. I don't like soda at all. I don't like fizz. I don't like the fizzy stuff. Like stuff that's like fizzy. The bubbles, they hurt. It's like assaulting my tongue. I don't like it. I don't like the feeling. It's too spicy. Spicy water's not for me. But what I will do is I'll take soda. If you ever offer me soda at like a party or whatever, I'll just pour like the tiniest little bit at the bottom of a cup and I will centrifuge the thing. I will just whirl it around in a cup. I don't have a hand cam, so I can't show you, but I'll like hold the cup and I'll just start shaking it. I'll just start like shaking it like I'm like stirring something. I'm like, and then it gets rid of all the bubbles really, really fast. Another way of getting rid of all the bubbles, if you have like a full can of soda and you don't want to pour it out into a glass, you just hold it and you tap the bottom really, really fast. You just continuously tap the bottom of a can until all the fuzz comes out. And it takes like maybe 5 minutes, but it gets rid of all the fizziness, and then I can drink it. I only have a soda when I mix it with alcohol. Yeah, cocktails. I like cocktails. Fried chicken and ramen go with cola. Ooh, I've never had that combination. Just drink juice. But that defeats the purpose. Why would I have juice when I can have sweet liquid? Why would I have juice when I could just have sweet liquid and it has a little bit of the fizz? Just like the tiniest little amount of bubbles. Just like, just the tiniest little amount of bubbles. Yeah, so the point of drinking soda isn't about drinking, but the enjoyment of unfizzing it? Maybe. No, I like the flavor of soda, but they don't make juice in that flavor. It's always like, oh, when you're on the plane, they're like, would you like soda or would you like juice? And I'm like, well, I don't want juice because I don't want apple juice. I don't want orange juice. I'm not a child. But I want the flavor of soda. I like Sprite, but I don't like like artificial caramel. Yeah. So, I like the taste of, I don't know, flat canned drink. You know what's also really good though? The Coca-Cola made with cane sugar. Someone should get this VTuber a bottle of Red 40. I don't know, does Red 40 have a flavor? I'll drink Gatorade maybe if it exists, but if I just like, yeah, the cane sugar Coke. It's so good. I love that flavor. Red 40 gives you cancer. That's what they want you to think. I think it gives me superpowers. Listen, maybe in 5 years. Why do you think my eyes are this color? I'm kidding. In 40 years, maybe we'll find out. There's nothing kiddie about juice. I always get orange juice someplace. I don't like orange juice. I don't like the taste of orange juice. I will have apple juice, but I find apple juice just straight up plain is like, eh. What? Just watch me, yeah. I'm gonna, like, someone shit me. Like, they banned, right? They banned in the US, they banned Red 40. Just send it all to me. I'll eat it. I'll take care of this, guys. That one's Hawaiian Punch, yeah. Soon, in 50 years, they'll be pulling out, like, Kool-Aid with the Red 40, and they'll be like, this is the vintage Kool-Aid Capri Sun or whatever flavor with the original formula, the Red 40. Why am I doing this voice? With with the original Red 40 flavor. It's going to have, this is just for long time ago, back in 2024, they have banned Red 40. They've banned Red 40, and this is the original vintage packets. You know those people who review like vintage food products, like the people who do MRE eating streams on YouTube? That's what they do. They're like, look at this vintage product. I don't know why I'm speaking like this. This is this vintage product. Wait, where's my British accent? This is a yeah. We have opened a unregistered warehouse back in the we've opened a warehouse and we found a lot of vintage items back from the early 2020s, the 20th century. I bought a 50 pack on Amazon once. I have 3D memories because they congest you so bad. Why would you do that to yourself? Did you want the congestion? Or were you trying to, like, why? Are you trying to survive, like, a natural disaster? You know what I want? Off topic, random. We're gonna come back to this topic, but I just want to say, $15 a day meal. Are you why? Why? I just I have to like hover my phone. Yes, I have to hover my phone over my mute button. My mom is like outside. She always comes in. She's like, "Who are you talking to?" Um, she doesn't know I stream. Okay, she's gone. She's gone. She's left. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're fine. We're good. Coast clear. There we go. Yeah. She doesn't know I stream. I've literally told her. I told her. Yeah, I tell her. She's like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, friend." I've tried telling her before too. I'm like, Mom, I have a YouTube channel, and I stream." And she's like, "Okay. Do you make money?" And I'm like, "No." And she's like, "Well, why don't you? Why don't you start a travel vlog? Why don't you do that?" And I tell her because she will stand behind me when I'm talking to my friends online, and she will like make comments off of things that I say. Yeah, travel vlog. She will stand behind me when I'm talking to my friends, by the way. I'm just saying this. She will stand behind me when I'm talking to my friends, and I will say like things like, "Oh, guys, have you guys seen the new Minecraft movie?" And my mom will stand behind me and she will just be like, "That's the one with the... what is that?" And I'm like, "I'm talking to my friends. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you specifically." Or she'll like make comments out of nowhere and just like stuff like that. So every single time I mute is because I am afraid that she's just gonna say something. I am concerned that she's gonna say something. She wants to be involved. She wants to be involved. And I don't trust her. I don't trust her now. She'll like barge in here, open the door, and be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, ah. She's literally done it before. She's done it once. When I did a hand cam stream before. Remember my hand cam stream that I did back on New Year's? She did come in once. And she saw my setup and she was like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, video for YouTube. Oh yeah, you didn't notice because like I think I was muted. She did walk in. She didn't say anything, but she like walked in. She like stuck her head in the door, looked around, and she was like, "What are you doing?" With the tripod and everything. And I was like recording a video. And she's like, "Oh, okay, you're doing like a food review." I was like, yeah, basically. And she's like, "Oh, okay." No matter the conversation, older people or either the person being spoken to or studio audience. I don't know. It's always just, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm doing something." He doesn't know I stream. I've told her. She does know. I don't think she knows exactly what that means. It's so funny though too because I have literally shown her VTubers. I have shown her VTubers. And she will show me VTubers on YouTube. She's like, "Look at this cool girl I see online. She draws and she sings and she has this picture." And I'm like, she is a streamer. She's a VTuber. I know what she is. Yes, I've seen them before. But she doesn't understand that on the same thing. Because she only sees covers. She'll show me like K-pop covers. She shows me K-pop covers and she's like, look, they sing and they do drawing, speed draws, and they sing K-pop. Look. And then they don't show the VTuber avatar or like the avatar model doing the singing. It's just a speed paint and then the singing. And then they have like they use their own art as a cover, right? And then you go to the live tab on YouTube and I'm like, this person streams Genshin. And she's like, oh, I don't know what that is. And I'm like, look. She doesn't understand the concept. She knows what they are. I don't think she knows what they are truly, but she's just like, yeah, character. It's like, you know, YouTube thing, like whatever. I don't think she fully understands. I will not explain to her. My mom was into VTubers before I knew about them. Dang. Mom is based. Mom is based. She's aware of VTubing. If she asks you, she's like, why don't you become a VTuber? Or does she just not care? My mom will be like, why don't you make YouTube videos? Why don't you make travel blogs? Why don't you like do this? Or like, I don't know. She's like, why don't you sell feet pictures? Why don't you sell feet pictures online? I'm like, Mom, why? And she's like, but you have such nice feet. I think you should like make bank. I think you should like people like feet. And I'm like, why? I'm like, no. Do you know how competitive the market is nowadays? Do you know how competitive the market is nowadays for feet? Sure. I got on that too. My mom was like, just make money online. Yeah, she sees these things and she's like, look, it's so easy to make money online. I'm like, yeah. But like, why? I'm not going to do that. Also, I just realized I've been streaming in silence the entire time because I don't have my headphones on. I don't have my headphones on. I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay, I turned on my BGM. We're just sitting here in silence. You can, it's just way out of proportion, I guess, but I'm not... Listen. I'm not gonna go and like... I'm not a good photo taker. How am I supposed to take nice pictures of my feet, first of all? And like... My feet are not taken care of. Like, I don't have... I don't know, maybe people into that, but like... You know, I've got like... dry skin and whatever, and like I need to file my nails. Or like they're not long, they're not painted. I don't paint my nails. I don't do anything like that. Or whatever. Right, like I don't have model feet. I don't take care of them like in a way that a model would. I don't paint my nails every single day with different colors and like perfectly like keep them at a nice length. No, they're just short. They're just short. I was like, you could make educational videos and make money on YouTube because I was editing a video for a graphics class. Yeah. It's like, oh, this is so easy. Why don't you do that? I'm like, well, I could. I guess I could. Technically, I am doing it right now, but like, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of work to just edit. Why would I do that? I could. I was contemplating it. I was writing down ideas earlier. But then at the same time, I'm like, damn, I have to record. I have to write out a script and then I have to edit and it takes so much work. I'm not gonna do that. So we're just staying like this. Do you think it sounds awkward if there's no audio? There's no like BGM? We just sit here in the void like this. I would debate VTubing, but male VTuber market is something else? Why? It's so funny. There's this one group out there specifically that they're always like, it's a male EN branch. Are you gonna have female branches? And they're like, no. Constantly. Or like how people are always like, what about male branches in an all-female branch? Or like an all-female company. Why no males? It's like, really? Really? You know what I want? I've contemplated it. I don't know if I would join an agency. But I just want a manager. And that's all. I don't even want a manager to be like, hey, like I need you to like stream 3 times a week and like have meetings or whatever. I just want somebody to watch my VODs and tell me, not even like to clip or to do editing or anything. I don't need an editor. I know how to do that. I want somebody to watch my VODs and then send me timestamps of like, you went on this tangent for 3 minutes. You went on this tangent for 4 minutes and then you talked about this. I can do that. Would you? Do you want me to pay you? I feel bad. Because I know I feel bad making people do that if I'm not like doing my. I upload VODs, they're on YouTube. They're on YouTube Live. If you go on the live tab on YouTube, they are there. Yeah. If you don't like Twitch, I co-stream on YouTube, by the way. I have been streaming on YouTube and Twitch for the past like 2 months. Wow. You forgot I stream on YouTube. I can't believe this. That was my mom. She came in, if you're wondering. She was like, no, she's not hi, Mom. She came in. She was like, did you check the mail? I was like, no. And she just closed the door on me. I was like, okay. She's always looking for packages. I can relate, you know, when it says it's gonna arrive today, and then you're like, oh, mail. So Link? Yeah, I don't have Pokemon. I don't have Pokemon. I'm a fake fan. Yeah, you are. You don't know that I stream on YouTube. You know I stream on YouTube. Everyone has Pokemon, not me. Well, I don't have YouTube. I swear you were there when I was first testing out YouTube. I think you were there for like a brief moment. You were like, oh yeah, let me test if YouTube comments over there works. Right? You were there, I remember. And then you just never came back. You're like, yeah, I remember Twitch. I was like, okay. I do like Twitch for its integratability. Like, you know how you can interact through chat with like different ability, like bits and whatever? Yeah, see? I see you. Chat can't see you, but I can. I can. I don't have emotes on YouTube. I'm hidden? Yes. It's so funny because once in a while I'll get a comment on YouTube and I'll be like, hello YouTube person. I feel so bad. Like, I know some people don't like being oh my god, everything just came out at once. I knew it. The moment one thing ends, everything's gonna start triggering because I didn't have it on before. There. I'll be like, hey YouTubers, and then I realize like, oh wait, maybe not everybody likes being called out like that. Maybe not everybody likes being like, hello, specific person. Hi, that one person on YouTube, right? I feel a little bit bad. They do that. Because I was reading, singling a YouTube audience, yeah, that I think I scare away every single YouTube person that comes by on stream and they say hi. And I'm like, oh, YouTube person, hello. And then they're like, oh, I'm sorry. I probably shouldn't be doing that. It's like going on Twitch. Yeah, hi guys, and Peanut. And Peanut specifically, you there. Do you guys care that I do that? I realize that like when I see people in chat that I recognize, because like we're a small community, right? I know like every single one of you. I will call people directly out. I'll be like, you Nitro, you Peanut. The passive aggressive. No, I wasn't meant to be that. I was just like, just points finger at screen. You. Parentheses. Derogatory. Yeah, you specifically. Hi. That's how I do everything. I'm just like, somebody comes by, I'm like, yeah, you. I see you. Hello. Do you guys mind that I do that? I'm sorry if like people are like, oh no, I'm uncomfortable. I'm sorry. No, I like it. Oh boy. Because there's some people who will like redeem sound effects and they don't say anything. They redeem sound effects and then talk in chat, and I will like specifically call them out and be like, hello person. I'm like, maybe I shouldn't be doing that. Maybe they just want to make a sound effect and then they don't want to talk. I don't know. I'll say hi. I'll say hi and then maybe not like reply. Hello, talking about hi YouTube person. Hi YouTube person. Specifically points finger at YouTube chat. Hi YouTuber. I'm kidding. Just jobbing real quick to wish you an excellent stream. Everything's ready. Great night. Thank you. Yes, excited. I'm so sorry that I single you out. Anybody who talks about on YouTube, hi YouTube person. Look, it's YouTube visitor. Hi. Just gives their full YouTube name and look to their channel. Yeah. Hi, talking about games. I know your first name, Abraham. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna like. It's because I specifically know. I know them. But can you imagine how shook that would be if I like just looked at somebody on YouTube and then they just read out their full government name? Hi, Daniel. I'm kidding. That's not their real name. Can you imagine how shook they would be? Just like, if anybody randomly comes by on their stream and I'm just like, hello. Hello, Steven. Hi. And they're like, oh my god, how do you know? A VTuber did that to me once. She's like, oh, you're new, and went through my profile, looked at my Twitter. Oh my god. That's wild. I would not do that. I would not do that. I totally don't keep like a spreadsheet of like information of people. No, I don't look up people's information beyond whatever they tell me. I don't go out of my way. I'm not that unhinged. Whatever information people tell me, sometimes I'll try to remember and I write it down somewhere. I have a spreadsheet. Whatever tags are literally parasocial. That's amazing. Oh my god. Is that like a bit? Was that a bit? Or is that just like, is that just fair? Because that's kind of odd. Not odd, but like, I would be scared. I'd be like, oh no. Oh no. Like, I've had people when I join them on stream and they see my name and they go like, VTuber. Point, finger, VTuber. Ah! Oh my god, I forgot that I was gonna do that. Whoa. Wow. Okay. I did not stick around long enough to figure out if it was a bit. Oh my god. That's amazing. I hope it was a bit. I hope it was a bit. If it wasn't, I'd be like, eh. There are actually plots out there, like ASMR scripts about like parasocial VTubers. That is a thing. It does exist. It's like around the trope of like yanderes. It's actually kind of funny. It's like, wow, you're following so many lewd artists. I was like, nah. Damn, she called you out. Nah. Hell no. Damn. Not on blast. Dang. No, I've had people call me out in chat, like they see my name, right? And they're like, VTuber, are you a streamer? And I'm like, yeah. And then it just gets awkward because I'm like, oh boy, I feel like I'm coming across as like shilling or something. I'm so sorry. Like, if they point it out, sure, I'll be like, yeah, I am, haha, funny. I stop by, and then I talk. But then, when they start checking out my profile, and they're like, oh my gosh, what do you do on stream and stuff? And then I'm like the only person they're talking to in chat. And then I'm like, oh boy, this is really awkward, because I feel like when I talk about being a streamer in another person's chat, there's like I don't know, like the polite part of me. I have like Kitchen of 4 FPS, yeah. Crunchy. I feel bad because it's like, you know politeness, like you don't talk about, don't advertise yourself in other people's streams, right? That makes me feel awkward because I feel like I'm advertising myself in their stream. They're like, oh, what do you do on stream? And I'm like, I talk, I play games, I draw. And they're like, oh, cool, what do you draw? And I'm like, we are having a one-on-one conversation in the middle of like chat. This is very awkward. This is very awkward. I don't know, it's a one thing when I am like, I guess, streaming and I'm talking to like chat as a whole, right? But then when somebody specifically looks at me and they're like, you, Kyo, what do you do as a streamer? When like, I don't know, 80% of the chat can't relate. I'm like, oh boy, this is awkward. It's one thing to have like a general like entity that you're talking to, which is what I usually do like most of the time, unless I'm replying to somebody's comment. But it's kind of awkward when I'm having like a one-on-one conversation with a streamer. I'm like, I'm being perceived. No, I'm a non-VTuber and none of your business. Well, if they clicked on my profile, they would know what I do. They see my avatar or whatever, and they see my name, and they're like, hey, Vine boom sound effect, eyebrow raise. You know, that like that when they see my name, when they see like that stuff. And I'm like, yeah. And then sometimes they'll go to my Twitter because it's linked on my page, right? They'll have like my socials, my whatever. They see it and they're like, oh, they read my about section. Sometimes they'll do it. They read my entire about section. They're like, oh, you do this and you do that. That's so cool. And then they check out my Twitter and they do like other stuff. I'm like, oh my god, please. I'm being perceived. No. I'm a bird who draws and shoves screwdrivers into my PC and OBS. I haven't opened up my PC, but I crash every so often. I crash at least once a stream. By the way, I haven't opened up Steam yet. I was supposed to be playing a game and I haven't. Because I'm really... We might crash again. I haven't opened Steam. I haven't opened Steam and I'm not gonna try. They shine the spotlight on one person in the audience. Yeah. Do you want me to do that? I can point at specific people in the audience. I'd be like, you, hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Okay. No, I'm not gonna do that. I don't really. Unless I'm like specifically replying to comments, I'm not gonna like specifically be like, hey, you person in audience. Like a stand-up comedy show. What's your job? What do you do for a living? And they're like, hi, my name is Dave from Texas. I'm a software engineer. Ha, software engineer. I bet that must be a boring job, right? Man on the spot. Man, yeah, I just like point at people and be like, you. Your dreams are so funny because it's less an audience, more a podcast where one person gets to speak to you at a time. I do find that people do take turns. Like, I'll have one person talking to me in chat at a time. And then they'll be like, I'm going to bed. And I'm like, okay, bye. I'm going to yap to myself for a little bit. I'm going to yap to myself for 20 minutes. And then another person shows up because they come in at a different time area. They like come in a different time zone. And they're like, hello. And I'm like, hi, random like interview person. Like my next victim I'm going to yap to for like maybe an hour until they go to bed. And they're like, oh, I'm going to go to bed now. I'm like, okay, bye. I'm going to go yap to myself again. This is not like accusatory or anything. I like it when you go to bed. Take care of yourself. Keep yourself safe. Bing. Bing. Keep yourself safe. Nina's gonna did that one night when we were playing Monster Hunter. We made a bit of randomly pulling up your stream. Yeah. I bet I said like random things. I get told that every single time. People are always like, yeah, Kill, whenever I pop by, you're always talking about the weirdest thing. It's a different topic every time. I'm sorry. I've been told that multiple times. They're like, you always talk about like the most random topics. I'm like, yes. Yes. I have nothing else to say to that, but yes. It's my brand. We're here for your rambling. Yeah, that's the only thing I'm good at. That's my one talent. My only talent. Start doing podcasts. I can't do a podcast because podcasts require me to stay on one topic the entire time, and I can't do that. I can't do that. It's only been an hour and 30 minutes, and I went through maybe like 6 tangents. I've been through 6 tangents. I need to like, if I were to be doing a podcast, I'd be like, hello guys. Hi guys. What is that? You know that one YouTuber who does like video reviews, Daily Dose of Internet. Hi guys, welcome to Daily Dose of Welcome to Kyo's podcast channel where we talk about your daily internet dose. Right, like that voice. He speaks like that. Hi guys, welcome to Daily Dose of And then it'll be like, today we're gonna be talking about, I don't know, whatever. And I cannot stay on topic for the life of me. I cannot. You have heard me. You know what I talk about. I'm sitting here and I'll be like, hey guys, we're gonna talk about honey. And then like halfway through the line, not even 2 minutes later, I'm talking about computers. I'll be like, yeah, honey, bees, and then worker bees, and then computer software, and blah, blah. And then I watch my own VODs, right? I watch my own VODs, I listen to my own VODs, and I'm sitting there listening to myself, and I'm like, Kyo, why I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to this topic. I did not go back to that topic. I never finished that thought. I'll start sentences, and then I'll halfway through that sentence, I will switch topics. I will think of something completely different. I'll be like, hey, by the way, I was making dinner the other day, and oh, by the way, did you know that SD cards are blah, 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 and there's different types of, like, you use different types of SD cards for photography and for video games and for, like, whatever. And then I'll be like, why did I not finish that sentence? Go back to talking about dinner. What did you do? What did you have for dinner? What are you doing? And I'm like, I am like that person on the sidelines, like, gripping, like, you know, like with the hands and the thighs, just like sweat dripping down, like, finish your sentences, finish them. I just want to like grab myself and be like, finish your sentences. I'm never on topic. I'm always all over the place. Podcasts are essentially just intro. Today we'll talk about ABC. Anyway, side tangent. I would feel better if I stayed on like a topic. If I were to do podcasts and be like, yeah, today we're gonna be talking about character design or whatever, or like arting and music stuff or whatever that I'm. If there was a second person, you'd be a little more on the rail. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I've done collabs maybe like 3 times. 3 times in total. Yeah, I've done collabs like 3 times, and every single time, it's me. I'm the distraction. I am the distraction. If there's an awkward silence, I bring out my 52 question list. I have a wheel, by the way. Do you want to see my wheel? I have a wheel. I totally don't spin it if there's ever an awkward silence, and I'm like, what should we talk about? Look, let me bring out my wheel. Oh no, my background. Why is it dark? This is my wheel. Oh no, wait. I have to edit this. Appearance. I need to change the background. Hold up. that should not be green. I'm gonna change this to pink. And then I'm gonna change the background color to green. Okay, better. This is my question wheel. If I'm in a collab or something and I'm like, hey guys, today we're gonna be talking about this. And then there's an awkward silence and I'm like, yeah, one second, real quick, let me like, right? And I pull up my wheel and I'm like, okay, hold up, 1 second. 1 second, person that I'm collabing with. If you had a theme song, what would it be? Why? What is one phrase you wish you could ban from everyone's vocabulary? And that was 3 questions at once. And then they'll be so shocked that they'll sit there and they'll think. And I'll start talking about my answers. I smacked it out your keyword for the yes. I have to show that I'm frantically typing. The school icebreaker questions. Yeah. I have a list of questions. Do you see all of these? These are my icebreakers. These are my I have to fix this. I have to fix this. I have a lot of them. Anyways, if I am ever in a group and they're like, what do you want to talk about? Just know that I do have a list. It's not awkward. I don't even use this list. I only use it when I'm like specifically doing an interview and I want to ask somebody something, you know? But other than that, usually half the time it's just me coming up with things where I'll be like, hey, look at this, by the way, or like, do you know about this? And then we'll talk about current events and stuff like that. I don't think I've ever been in a situation where I've just been so awkward that I don't know. Already defending yourself is 100% awkward. It's not awkward. It's not awkward. It's not awkward. It's not awkward. I'm a yapper, okay? It's not awkward if I'm able to just like talk about things and I don't need to pull out the list, you know, of questions. It's fine. It's okay. It's not awkward and they don't need to know. I once had somebody tell me that personally. They were like, hey, by the way, my prom date, guys, my prime date when I went to like prom. You stare at that one guy in your workplace, you have an awkward steamroller personality? No, I don't. I'm normal. I'm so normal. I'm not awkward. I think I'm socially adept. I'm just a little quiet. I'm not awkward. I'm normal. Why are you laughing at me? Why are you laughing at me? Why do you say LMAO? What do you mean by that? Hello? Excuse you. What do you mean? I am normal. I'm well adjusted. I'm well adjusted. I'm normal. Ah. I don't stare at people in my workplace. When have I ever done that? When have I ever done that? You're defending hard right now or awkward bird is cooked? No! I don't stare at that one guy. He just sits across from me. I don't camp outside his office on purpose. I don't stare at him on purpose. He just happens to be right in front of me. I'm not awkward. Sounds like cope. I go and break in front of his glass office because it's a door. It's a glass door. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? There's nowhere else to go in this building. For context for people who don't know, during my breaks at work, I go sit outside the director's office. I go sit in front of him. He's the director of the entire building. He's like the CEO dude. I sit in front of his office because he has a couch out there out front in like a little lobby area with flowers and it's very nice. It's very aesthetic. I sit there on the couch because it's comfortable and I look across from me and there's a door and I can see right into his office. And then sometimes he walks outside and he sees me and he goes, "Hi, Kyo," and I'm like, "Hi, sir." It's not awkward. I don't stare at him like down. I'm not sitting there in front of his I don't sit there in front of his office with my hands crossed in front of my lap and just like this. I'm like, "Hi." I'm not just dead straight staring at him the door office the entire time. I'm not. I'm just lounging on the chair. Like, I'll sit there and I'll like put my head back and I'm like on the chair closing my eyes, or like I'll be on my phone and I'm like just chilling. And if I see kid just lets it happen. He hasn't said anything to me about it. Also, the dude's like 50 something. The dude's like older, and I think he has kids of his own. They're like, "Yeah, that's Kyo. She sits outside sometimes," and she's like one of the only people who actually sits out there. She's the only person who sits on the couch on a regular basis. She just vibes out there. Yeah. 50-year-old men are no wife for being faithful. I don't know. He's a nice guy. He's the director of like a lot of places. Also, he doesn't talk to me. He just like, he walks by and he goes like, "Hello." Every single time I see him, he's always like walking around, busy. I should leverage that for raise. He doesn't control my raise. I don't work for him. Like, I don't work directly for him. Yes, he's like high up on that whatever workplace hierarchy, right? He's whatever high up on the workplace hierarchy, but like, he doesn't directly control. He can pressure your manager? I don't think so. It's really funny too, because like my current job position, I have moved, and my manager also knows like everybody else on the managers. So like when they have parties and stuff for people, sometimes they invite him. They invite like the director to like their parties and stuff. Like especially like retirement parties and stuff like that, or birthdays, because a lot of senior management, right? They all know each other. They've been there for 30 plus years. They all know each other. And so he comes by to say hi, and I'm like, "Oh boy. I don't talk to this dude at all. This is really awkward." He owns the building. There's no way he can't do that. He doesn't own the building. He just has a lot of say in what the building does, or like what the entire company does. Company slash, I don't know how to describe it. Just place. He approves things, you know? You should unfizz your soda in front of him or ask him what music represents him. No, I'm not gonna break out those questions in front of him. I'm not gonna casually ask him and roll up to him and be like, "Sir, if you were a utensil in a drawer, if you were a utensil in a kitchen drawer, what utensil would you be?" So they are awkward? No, I'm not awkward. Maybe he's awkward. I'm not gonna go out of my way to befriend him. I'm not gonna do that. That's weird. I don't want to talk to him. I'm not cracking. What do you mean? Oh, my voice? No. Not 50%. Or it's... No. I'm not gonna befriend him. Listen, I don't know what I'm saying. I don't know what he does. All I know is that I sometimes see this dude walk by, and then I go like, "Hey," or he'll like we stare at each other, and he's like, because you know when you walk by and you see somebody sitting on your couch and they're like, "Oh, somebody's sitting on my couch," that's the look that he gives me. He just walks by and he goes, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hi." I don't give him like comments, like I don't say anything else. You should invite him on a day he's busy to your wedding so he can see your face. He's not that Well, he does make a lot of money. No, I'm not gonna do that. Why would I do that? Also, I'm never getting married. I'm gonna die alone. That's my commitment. Can you imagine being in a relationship? Ha! I'm gonna die alone. Yeah. What do you mean what? I'm gonna die alone. I'm gonna die alone. I'm gonna have like I'm gonna be buried. I'm gonna be buried with by my friends. If they outlive me, I don't even know. I hope they do. I wanna die first. If I ever get to the old age, I wanna die first. Like, I don't wanna linger. I wanna die. Die of old age. Not die. If you die alone, you're gonna have to buy like helpers because old people can't wash themselves. Yeah. I wanna die before my friends. For the sake of the plot. Maybe if I don't die of old age, I will dramatically die in front of somebody and it's gonna change their life trajectory forever. That's what I want. I want two things. If I ever, the moment I hit the age of 60 and my like whatever starts declining, I am going to just I pray that I go fast, because as somebody who has seen people age and get to like past the age of, I don't know, 80, life quality is not good. I don't know why we live this long. I don't think my answer is going to change. I don't know why we live this long. Like, if you're going to live and you have to take 50 pills a day just to like keep your body at the rate it's supposed to be going, slowly declining, why would you want to live like that? At that age, you would have experienced all life there is to offer. I think it's fine to just go. This is kind of morbid. I talk about death once in a while. Guys, it's it's almost sad boy hour. Great. It's almost 2 a.m. We can talk about fun topics like death and dying. Great. So, guys, 2 a.m. sad boy hour. Yippee. We're going to talk about death. So, I've always said for the longest time, ever since I was like, I don't know, teenager age, I've always said, I want to die. Not in the sad way, but in the curious way. I've always wanted to die. But for the sake of experiencing the afterlife, I want to know if it exists. And then I want to come back and I want to be like, they were right, they were wrong, who knows? And then I've heard stories about people who come back from near-death experiences, and they all have kind of similar, kind of varying different answers. And I want to see if they're right. I want to experience it for myself, because how else would I know, right? Is there an afterlife? Do we fade into blackness? Is there somewhere else that we go? Do we get reincarnated? Do I get isekai'd? Who knows? I don't know. I want to find out, and that is why I want to go to the afterlife. And like, what else is there here to experience? I want to experience something new. I want to experience spice. I want to do something interesting. If you were to ask me right now, Kyo, would you like to experience the afterlife? I'd be like, heck yeah. I want to see what it's like. It'd be like one moment here and the next day somewhere else. Who knows? Low-key, I'd be sad if I got old because no way my wife finds me old and aesthetically hot still. I think, I don't know, attractiveness is subjective. Attractiveness is subjective. I think if you like somebody, looks stop being important. It's more about like, do you enjoy their company? I don't think it's like, oh, my spouse, even though they're 60-year-olds, yeah, you're so hot. No, it's more like, I like you for who you are, not for how you look. Hello, welcome. Hello, AABB0907. Sorry, I was trying to like do the eyebrow raise, but I can't. I'm trying to hit that Vine Boom pose. What a bot name. No, you never know. You never know. Some people have they just key smash. You never know. if I'm not gonna say, I was gonna be like, if you're a bot, say something. I'm not gonna do that. I've decided I'm not gonna like be mean. I'm not gonna be like call direct. I'm not gonna call people out. I think it's mean of me to do it. No, I'm not going to. That's kind of mean. I'm not gonna be like, hey you, if you're a bot, say hi in chat right now. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna call people out on purpose. I'm not gonna make people feel uncomfortable. Ow, my foot, ow. 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 I just smashed my toe into my chair leg. I just kicked my chair. I think his pulse plug in the monitor, so like you're here one day and next on the next. Being mean is not fun. I think it's more fun to be nice. Maliciously compliant. If someone's being mean to me or like whatever, teasing, I can deal with that. I can do it back. I am real good. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I'm really good at like giving it where it's got. Like, clapping back. If you come at me with something, I'll give the exact attitude right back. I'm really good at matching energies. I try. My friend has been getting me so heavily into Tarkov, I finally picked up the New Zealand story. Ooh, Tarkov. I don't know about that game, but I've seen some gameplay of it. I don't know. It's like RTS, real-time strategy game. I don't know. I've never really enjoyed real-time strategy games. They're kind of boring to me. I don't want to watch little people run across the screen. I don't want to watch little teeny tiny people run across the stream. If I wanted to watch little people run across the stream, I would watch football. I picked up the New Zealand story. Tarkov is a first-person shooter. I might be thinking about EVE Online or something. I might be thinking about something else. Like StarCraft. I think I'm thinking about StarCraft. Clash of Clans-esque game. Yeah, I have not been playing any gachas in a really long time. Tarkov is like, how complicated can we make a gun game? Is that the game with all the military weapons and is like apparently really accurate to military weapons? Is it? I feel like it is. Yeah. Yeah. I'm cured of gachas for a bit too. Yeah, I haven't logged on to Genshin in a really long time. I don't know, none of the characters really hit as much as like I want them to. Or I'm gacha'd out. Like daily logins I've just died of. Like I'm kind of tired of them. You're like, oh, in order to get rewards, in order to get anywhere, you have to do your dailies. I'm like, absolutely not. I don't care. I only watch London, but I don't want to grind. Yeah, I don't like grinding. I don't want to like. They're like, oh, do your dailies. Make sure to use up all your resin. Oh, I don't have the time for that. I picked up Monster Hunter and Tarkov, and I was instantly cured of gacha syndrome because I played good games. Yeah, Monster Hunter. I like Monster Hunter. I haven't played it in a really long time. Because I've been spending most of my time instead just like, I don't know, reading manga and like drawing. I have gotten, okay, there is these two games on mobile. I know I say I don't like dailies, but there are these two games on mobile I have on my iPad that I just keep going back to because they're so stupid. One of them is like color block tile, where basically you have to move like blocks out of this like puzzle and then you put them in the right color to move things. It's stupid. I know, but I like it. I don't know. It's simple. It's boring. I don't think I'll ever get to that point where I'll be like, wow, I love Sudoku. But I have at some point downloaded like word puzzle games. You'll be like, yeah, crossword puzzles. And then I remember when I download crossword puzzle that I don't like crossword puzzles. And then I delete the app. Like those games, like Wordscapes or whatever, and they're like, oh, match words. Then we're gonna give you random letters and you have to find words based off of it. I download them, I'm like, wow, this looks fun. And then I download it and I'm like, no, never mind. I have an idle clicker game called Guitar Girl. I've had it since like 2018. I never deleted it because of like the notifications I get. I'm playing some sweet songs. Yeah. You look at my store history, and it is filled with like cursed games. You've like been notice? I turn off every single notif ever. Like I go through my settings specifically and I turn everything off. I cannot stand. I've had my phone on permanently on do not disturb and silence for like 5 years. Ever since they introduced that option, I have it on. I don't like notifications. The only notifications I have it on is for messages. I only have it on for messages and for calls. And that's it. Anything else, I'm like, no. This conversation tempted me on opening it for the first time in years. Yeah. Not even for like when I used to play gacha, like not gacha games. Not even when I used to play like, you know, those idle dating games or whatever. I tried playing them. They're not very fun. It's always like, to see the next episode, you have to come back in 24 hours and you have to refill your energy. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to remember that. I'm not going to remember that. And because I don't have notifications to remind me, I'm just not going to come back. And I'll be like, wow, what is this game? I haven't opened it in 5 years, or I haven't opened it in like 3 months. Why is this here? And then I delete it. Because I just forgot everything about that storyline. That's why I can't play Otome games. The ones on the Apple Store that are Otome games that you have to pay for, or like play, or like refill energy and use things like that are chapter by chapter basis, like, oh, find out what happens next. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna remember that. And then I never come back, I never open it again, and then I'm like, I go back, and even if I do see it and I open it, I'm like, what happened in the storyline? What's happening? Although, there are a couple of games out there a long time ago that I really enjoy, that were a little bit real-time storyline, but they were more like chat based. It was really interesting. It was like a version of how do you describe this? A light novel, basically. So it's a game that takes place in real time, but it's like an RPG, but it's with like a web, like a reading version of a game. What are those things called again? Text-based adventures, yes. It's a text-based adventure with preconceived choices, I think. Or like semi-preconceived choices. So one of them I read a long time ago was about, you get this call. Yeah. I think one of the plots was like, you get this call from a stranger. And it's like, hey, you download... It's showing his age, yeah. I was gonna play this one game that's like a demo on Steam about like one of those early 2010s game, but it's also a horror game. I might try it out. It might be pretty short. We might do that one of these days. It's like a little horror RTS game from like the early 2000s about a girl game. It's cool. But yeah, I think the plot was that you download this thing, and it's like, hey, I know you downloaded this app to like message your friends or whatever, but I need your help. And it's like you got a text from a stranger using an app that you downloaded. It's like, hey, I need your help. I'm stuck out somewhere and I have this briefcase and I have like 3 days left of survival. There's somebody chasing me. In order to survive out here, I have to cut off the signal, but you're the only person that I can reach out to at the moment. Please contact this person. And then you message them for a little bit to get more information about the situation. They're like, hey, I think they're catching on. I need to disconnect signal for a little bit. I'll see you again in like a couple days or a couple hours. Bye. And then they have a timer, and then they tell you like, oh, come back in this time, or like they'll send you a message when they're ready. And then you come back to it and it'll be like, hey, it's been a little while, I moved to a new place, I found a couple of things. Can you try like helping me with this or like doing that? And then you do like little games or like little conversations with this person. Whereas the ending is you block them because they're bots. They're not a bot. Because you download the app, you know it's a game, but like they read it out in like a situation where it'd be something like that. There is an option too where you can just like not answer and then they kind of force you into answering. Because they're like, hey, hey, hey. That would actually be funny. Can you imagine downloading like a desktop game where it's like in the form of Discord, right? I need to sleep. Good night. Can you imagine downloading a game that's like in the format of Discord? And you get a DM from like a random stranger, right? And then if you don't reply to them, they like delete the game from your computer. They're like, bye. I like to play an Otome game as a chick who just has no time for dudes. I think there is. There is one. I believe there is one. It's like a crack, kind of like Otome game written by somebody who is like a joke. There is an Otome game out there that exists like that. I forgot the name of it, but it is actually kind of funny. It's very short though. It's basically about this like girl. I love being able to say no to dating. I need to make bread and kill demons. Is that even a thing? No, but it takes place in like the regular typical high school dating simulator and you have all the guy tropes, right? And they all try to hit on you and then that's the experience. You're just like, no. Loki, isn't that Stardew? Is it? Is it? Hold on one second, let me type. Good night, Nitro. Have a good night. Thank you for stopping by. Is it? I thought Stardew. They don't throw themselves at you. You have to talk to them. I haven't played Stardew, but maybe. No. In Stardew, yeah, you do talk to villagers, but you have to kind of go out of your way to like give them gifts and stuff to raise their affection levels, to make them like you. I like how at the beginning I said I was gonna play a game and I haven't. It's been like 2 hours. Yes, we're gonna yap for like 5 hours. No, there is a game that exists like that. I don't know exactly what it's called, but yeah. I forgot the name. I read so many villainess and Otome game manuals, I was so disappointed when I played a real one. Really? Why? Ooh, you know what a game that I want to play? Hatoful Boyfriend. I want to play Hatoful Boyfriend because it's about birds, but apparently the lore is really good. Like, you can go real deep into the lore, but you have to, in order to unlock the real lore, you have to finish every single character's route. You have to finish every single character's route to unlock the secret route, and it takes a little bit of time, but I've heard that it's a pretty good game. Like, lore. There's so much lore. But yes, you are literally talking to birds. As someone who's played a gacha for the lore, that's about right, yeah. When I play gacha, I don't know, I don't really focus on the lore. Like, the main storyline lore, sure. But like, if I have to go and do things that are not related to side quests and I have to dig through like specific side quests just to get lore, I'm not doing that unless I accidentally stumble upon it. Or unless it's like, oh, if you do this specific side quest, you can get money, and I'm like, sure. I'll do it for the rewards, but... Or I'll just explore things and I'll stumble across it, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, oh, lore. Same for Zenless and Genshin. I think for Girls Frontline I pay attention. Yeah. I don't know. Genshin has gone in so long that I kind of not paid attention to the lore or whatever's happening. I just kind of like, I don't know what's happening in that game. I don't know what's happening in the storyline. I just know that whenever they have a festival, I go back to it. I'm like, ah, yes, character interaction, yes. And then I collect things in the game. I play games just to collect things. If it's free, I'll log on and I'll get it. I'll play the event just for the collectibles. I'll be like, yeah. But anywhere else outside of it, nah, not really. Not really. No. Although, sometimes if it gets too much for me, I'll just delete it. Like, I was playing this one game called Seven Nights Heroes, or like Food Fantasy or whatever, and then I couldn't keep up with it anymore. I tried playing Reverse 1999. Any mobile game, really, I just can't. I was playing the Nightline quest, now I just heard ringing until I saw Ether, and I was like, hey! And I went back to ringing. Really. It's just, yeah, quest. It's like playing Skyrim. I'm just endlessly going on side quests. And then, I don't know why, but whenever I play Genshin, I'm like playing the main quest. Or I think I'm playing the main quest, but it turns out I am on a side quest, the world quest. I'm playing the world quest, and I thought I'm playing like the real main world quest. Or I'll end up on like a main story, like a story quest, like a character storyline quest. Like the time I thought I was playing like, I thought I was playing Liyue's like event or whatever, and it turns out I was on Zhongli's side story. I was on his character arc, and I'm like, why does this character keep showing up so many times? Is this part of the storyline? And I'm like, oh no, I am not on the right one. Reverse 1999 is also horrendous gameplay. Korean series, coming art and lore, but gameplay. It's like a card battling game. That's how you think about it. Like Pokemon. You put out your cards and then you fight. They make you play some character stories for the World Quest? Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, they do make you play character stories for World Quest because they lock characters behind certain events. If you wanna... This character is currently involved in a quest. Finish the quest first to be able to like interact with them again. I'm like, why? Why can't you just bypass it? The kitchen situation, so I don't know. The more they expand characters, the more that happens. Hey, we wearing the same glasses. Yeah. Retro. With the VA. Oh, the VAs. I listened to the JP dub, so I have not been paying attention to that. I have not. I've heard about the situation where we've had the past couple of events in silence, apparently, where there's just been barely any voice acting except for Paimon for some reason. But it's just been like dead silent. But no, I play with the JP version, so I just don't notice. I love the Reverse 1999 like art and the lore and whatever, but some of the characters' voice lines just make me want to cry. And that's why I stopped playing it, because I can't listen to, what's her name, Bluebell? Her voice. Listening to the same voice line over and over again on repeat, especially on 3 times speed for grinding, I'm like, no. She's like, she has this one specific voice line, it's time for tea. I'm like, no. Or what's her name? The tsundere French girl. I forgot her name. Her voice lines also too, they get repetitive. It sucks because I love the new Paimon VA, but oh my god, someone needs to delete social media. I don't follow any of the voice actors on social media or at all. So that's just me. But hello, welcome in. I know Apple Tree. It is 2 a.m. I hope that it's not like whatever. You know. I hope it's not too late. Or whatever time it is for you. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. I've never played Reverse, but I love the art. Yes, the art is pretty. The art is amazing. The character designs are amazing. I love the fact that they got voice actors from different accents all over the world, right? You are true to their designs. You have characters from Russia with Russian accents. You have characters from like, you know, you got characters who speak Cantonese. You have characters who speak Mandarin. You have a character who speaks literally in Morse code. You have a dog. You have a scarecrow who communicates and growls and stuff. You have like zombies. You have like one character who speaks in like binary, who speaks in like numbers and stuff. You have another character who speaks through like music, and you have another character who speaks through like riddles and like talking like just in different like voices and stuff. It's very, very cool. It's very amazing. I really enjoy that aspect. I like the designs. Some of them are very genuinely very, very creative, like the jester, who's like half dress, half pants. Very cool. But my god, the repeating voice lines. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. I don't even know like half the voice lines they keep repeating. I'm like, oh no. I used to play Arknights way back when, but man, I've been catching up in the lore and they dropped the ball. I don't even know what's happening in Arknights. I watched the anime. And that's it. That's all I know. Also, I've been reading the manga. There's a cooking manga for Arknights, and that's actually really cute. I recommend reading the cooking manga. The art is nice. The anime is like 2 chapters. There's 15, yeah. Read with Amiya. There's different characters they focus on. Every single chapter they focus on a different character. It's not just Amiya. The anime focuses on Amiya, but not the manga. The food manga is different. Yeah, different cuisines with different characters. It's cute. I think Arknights just released a new character. Monster. I don't know her name. She's like green and she's got like ears or horns or something. She's kind of cool. Yeah. She's cool. I like her character design. I've been seeing a lot of fan art for her. Interesting. That's all I get. That's how I know characters. Or that's how I recognize like new characters or something in games, because I'll just see a bunch of fan art of one specific character. And I'm like, ah yes, I guess this one game released a new character, because that's all I see. I follow a lot of Japanese artists or like stuff. Do I care about spoilers? I'm never gonna play Arknights, so sure. Like when the new character, so you know how every Chinese New Year's, they release a new Shu sibling? They release a new dragon character who's like one of the 12 dragon siblings, right? I only know what character that is or like who they are because there is just so much fan art, and I'm like, ah yes, this must be Arknights, because they're just drawing him with like other characters. Calcit, the white-haired cat that everybody knows, she's dead. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. Let me look it up. Calcit. But isn't in Arknights there have been characters in the past who have died? And they just bring them back as characters, like, to play as, but they're dead in canon, but they still exist? Oh, her. I feel like I've seen her. I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like there has been characters where they've killed them off and they brought them back. Like, hey, by the way, even though they're dead in canon, they're still here. They're still in your party. They do that. Or like, not for major characters to the story, but they have done that for like side characters. I'm pretty sure they have. I remember seeing that a while ago. I think they did. Like, especially when it comes to, like, villains. They kind of kill off their villains. I was reading the world's longest 100 and something word like, fanfic about Arknight lore. It was actually pretty interesting. I was reading, like, this Arknight fanfic, but for a completely different... It wasn't with Arknight characters, it was for a different fandom. but they took all the characters from that fandom and put them as like Arknight characters, and it was interesting. It was like some weird cross hybrid AU, but with like the storyline of Arknights, but with different characters. I was like, oh. New story chapter, every character that's playable besides the OP died. Were they OCs? No, they were not. They were for like a specific fandom. They took character from a fandom and they put them in another fandom. And they also had them interact with the characters from the original world. It was interesting. This is how I experience my media, guys. I read fanfiction. I read fanfiction of them in a very specific AU, and it's the exact same storyline, but with different characters. Never watched the story of like American Horror Story or whatever, but I know what happens in American Horror Story because I read a fanfic where they were retelling the entire storyline. I have never watched like Die Hard, but I know what happens in Die Hard because somebody wrote a fanfic where they replaced the main characters with the characters of another fandom. And they're like, ah yes, Die Hard AU. I'm like, okay, cool. I don't know what this media is, but I'm just gonna read it. How I discovered my fix. The best fanfic writing I've ever read was so random. You know what the best fanfic I've ever... Well, no, not the best, but like my favorite fanfic ever is the Ace Attorney Jesus fanfic. It's written so bad, but also so good. It's written horribly, but you know with the way that they're writing bad on purpose because they put certain words in there that just the sentence structure and the way that they write stuff. It's so bad, but it's like, it's amazing. It's the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Jesus fanfic on fanfic.com. It's not even on AO3, it's on fanfic.com. Like, it was written in 2012. It was good. It's amazing. It's my favorite thing ever. Wait, can I? I'm gonna see if I can read it. The writer of Project Women, like an actual writer for the game, wrote a Nicole Wise fic. It was good. I like comedy fics. Where's my Jesus? Ace Attorney Jesus fic. Yeah, there it is. Fanfiction.net. Let me read it. This is so short. It's Jesus Christ, Ace Detective. Written by Barry Lawn. When was this written? It doesn't... No. I don't even know when this was. Jesus must solve this short, crazy murder with the magic powers of Christ. Can he do it? Oh, this is published in 2023. I thought it was written a long time ago. Is this old? Is this a rewrite? Is this a rewrite? Where's the original? Where's the original? I forgot. Is this it? It kind of sucks. I love slice of life, but slice of fic leaves me fast. Depends. I once read the world's longest slow burn. It was an F1 racing fic. That was the most boring thing ever, but I stopped reading it because it was just so slice of life. It went into too much detail. It was slow burn. Anyways, I'm gonna read this. One day in the kingdom of something. This is a rewrite. I don't think this is the original. What happened to the original? I'm trying to find it. Wait one sec. Let me go. Why are these all so bad? As an F1 fan, it's unnerving how many people don't care about racing like F1. Listen, there is apparently so much tension. There is so much tension between these guys. It's kind of funny. F1 racing is a yaoi page? Yeah, because there's apparently tension. There's like people just like the sexual tension between these guys. I can't find it, I'm sad. Yeah, it's not this one. It's something similar. It's not this one. It's not the Phoenix Wright Turnabout time travel. I'm trying to find it, I can't find it. I don't get the whole shit. When Max vs. Stephen Dots. I don't know who these characters are. I just know that one of the most... I can't find it, I'm so sad. One of the most, like, the highest number of word count on AO3 is a F1 racing fanfic. I will have you know. The number one, like one of the top, like highest word counts that's ongoing still ongoing. It's reached like, I believe 5 million words. Still ongoing. It's slow burn. It's hella slow burn, but that's what it is. It's a fic that's super long, slow burn of these just two characters, and I have no idea what happens. And it's like that. The other ones are just fics where somebody wrote characters about every single fandom that ever exists. It's like the world's most cursed collab. It's slow burn because they're writing married men in real life dating, yeah. It's slow burn. It really is. It's very dramatic. Not really dramatic, but it's just slow burn and kind of dramatic. But yeah, the other top fics that have the most word count is just number one, like porn. And it's solely a collection. It's a collection of like people being like, oh, I do writing requests of like every single fandom ever, and they put it all into one fic. Or they're like, we're gonna make the world's most cursed texting chat fic ever. My pet peeve is chat fics. Like, I don't care. Like, sometimes I enjoy chat fics if they're funny, but if you're gonna be like, I'm gonna take every single fandom ever to exist, I'm gonna take every single fandom to ever exist and I'm gonna put them all into one big fic and have them all talk to each other. And then every single chapter you introduce 5 new characters that have nothing to do with each other. They'll be like, Freddy Fazbear! Oh no, says Bill Cipher. Look who the cat just dragged in. And then 10 people reply and it's like, everybody spams the exact same emoji, but it's like Bonnie says thumbs up, and then like Dale from like Chip and Dale also does this, and then this character from this franchise does this, and then this character, and then like Applejack, and then some random other character. And I'm like, why is everybody here? It's funny you said Bill Cipher because I swear to God, every OC group has a wannabe Bill Cipher personality. I feel like everybody has a Bill Cipher personality kind of character because of how popular, what's it called? Gravity Falls. Gravity Falls used to be very popular, and like, you know, some people like to have like quirky characters. They like to have weird characters. And yes, people have that because I feel like they've been on Tumblr for a little bit too long. If you've been on Tumblr for an extended period of time, you will end up with an OC that lives with Mark on Tumblr. It's the quirky character who acts a little bit silly. The what's it called? What do they call it? The Tumblr sexy man. The Tumblr sexy man. You know, they're silly, but they're also like hot. That was Bill Cipher. That's the Onceler. That's Reagan. That's Sans Undertale. Sonic, the Tumblr sexy men competition. Yes. Those characters, the edgy characters are now cringe. I'm gonna do a character who's a jester. I'm so funny. They're not even they're not even like a jester. They're not even funny to be funny. They're like, oh, they act funny, but you know it's all an act. And because they're hiding something tragic behind them. That's what they like. They act goofy on purpose because they're tragic and they have angst and backstory. That's what they like writing. And if anybody who's ever been on Tumblr for an extended period of time, they just develop a character like that. I read a jester personality and I drop it in. Am I not a jester? Am I not a clown? I am a clown on the internet. I am the virtual silly man. I am the comedian. I'm sitting here in front of you on stage with my book of jokes and my stand-up comedy act. Am I not a clown? You're a human jester character. Try too hard to come off as forced and annoying. I can try. Hey guys, what's up? Haha. I don't know, I can't do the goofy laugh. Oh, yeah. I can't. I don't know, I'm trying. Wanna watch me juggle? I don't know how those characters act. I don't know. You know what's funny though? There are a lot of people out there who create OCs and they're like, you know what? Slaps character. We're gonna give this character so much trauma. And it's fine. I think it's a way for people to like work through events in a way that's not directly impacting them. Like, but then again, there are some people out there who go insane with the lore. They're like, yeah, this is my character so-and-so. He is alive for 10,000 years because half of those 10,000 years he was locked in a laboratory where he was subjected to cruel human experiments for 20,000 years experimenting time travel, and then he escaped and he got stuck in a time loop where he experienced the horrors of his family dying over and over and over again on repeat for like 500 years, and then he got dropped into the abyss by a god, and just like crazy things like that. And this is how he got the power, and he's super strong and overpowered, but he's silly, you know, he's silly, and he's goofy. He acts like that on purpose to hide the traumas, and then he like comes across the current group who are all somewhat well-adjusted, but they're also really traumatized at the same time, and they all have some kind of edgy backstory where none of them have a living parent. None of them have a living two parents. That's how they go. That's what they're like. Me? One thing that's always stuck with me is I always designate one character as a smoker because he's tired as hell. I don't know. I have characters that I have OCs for, but none of them are like... My characters are well adjusted. I don't have a single character that has trauma. They're all normal. They're all just normal people. Except for maybe, I don't know, some of them are kind of interesting. Like I have one character who I wrote a backstory for. I have a group. Like I have like, I don't know why, but I wrote a story for a boy band. I say none of mine are traumatized, they just have lives. No, none of my characters are all happy. They have normal lives. Like I once wrote like I have backstory OCs for this one group. There's like a boy band. And they're all normal. I don't know why I did this, but like I was like, yeah, this is this character, this is their backstory, this is their age, this is their height, this is their whatever, this is their personality, this is what they look like, this is their position in this boy band. I don't know why I did that, but they exist. They're somewhere. I could tell you about my they just exist. Or my other character who's like, she's normal. I think I drew her once. She's an assassin. But she's well adjusted because she's like a fancy assassin. That's it. That's her backstory. She's in the mafia and then she's just like killing people. That's it. All mine are inserted in the Arknight stories because of world building? Nah, I create my own world building. My characters have their own worlds. I blame it all on like, what's it called? Having too much free time imagining things. When I have too much free time just thinking, my brain will just be like, ah yes, we'll think back to this one universe. What do they call that? Maladaptive daydreaming? I don't even view them from my own perspective, I just see them as third person just running around doing their own thing in their world. And I'm like, nah, cycle it back, we're gonna rewind this take, we're gonna see the scene again. Because I wasn't paying attention the first time. And then they kind of just do their own thing in my head. I haven't done it in a really long time because I've been busy, but I kind of miss that. Ooh, I also did have this one story that I was writing a long time ago. I don't know why, but I like writing killer concepts, like assassin groups. I have this one story, this one entire story. It was very kind of convoluted and long. I get it. Yeah, I like killing. I like murder. I had this one entire storyline where it was based off of child fairy tales. So every single, I think I've mentioned this before, they are part of this organization, an assassin's hitman group called Mother Goose, based off of, you know, the story of Mother Goose. That is their organization name, and all of the characters are based off of like fairy tales. So like Humpty Dumpty, Little Miss Muffet, and then that's also based off of like their design. That's a manga, it is? Maybe. I wrote this way long time ago, like back in 2001. That's just a plot. Exactly, it is a plot. I like writing plots. I don't really like writing OCs and characters. I just write like ideas for stories. I wrote that a long time ago. I didn't draw it out, but I like writing stories. I like writing like story plots, but I don't do anything with them. I just like, you know what, this would be a nice idea. Do I ever publish fics? No. I don't publish anything. Okay, that's not true. Once. Maybe a long time ago I did, but not anymore. It wasn't a fic, it was a story. That was also kind of edgy. Really edgy. My one and only story that I wrote a long time ago where I gave a character trauma. But it wasn't even a trauma, it was just edgy. And then I ended it because I was like, I had a moment of clarity where I looked back on myself and I was like, yeah, we're not doing that. That's cringe. And then I stopped, so I didn't. I think it's still there. Maybe. No, I deleted it. I think. It was on Wattpad. A long time ago. I wrote a fic, or like a storyline, and I had a moment of clarity. I was like, what am I doing? This story doesn't make sense. This is cringe. This is kind of cringe. And then I was like, I'm not working on this anymore. But I got really into it at one point. I was like, yeah, we're gonna write a story. I published like twice and someone IRL found it and I wiped everything. Wow. I was on Wattpad and then I was also on Nanimo. I forgot that place where you have like spaces and you can write stuff. Yeah. I was on like the poetry one and I was also on like the short story one. And also the anime one, but the anime one was kind of toxic low-key, so I left. I forgot the name of that place. Nanimo? I'm trying to confuse it with NaNoWriMo, but I know it's not NaNoWriMo, but I know it starts with an N. It was very awkward. I think one time they really liked a story that I wrote and they put it and they pinned it to the entire page for like a week. They were like, oh, we really like your story that you published. We're gonna pin it to the front page. I was like, oh. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Thanks. This is kind of embarrassing. It was... I'm like, why'd you pick that one? It wasn't even a good one. I like the other one. I want to write fix again, but like judgment? No. Be free, be cringe. Be free. Be cringe. If you ever really want to be anonymous, just create anonymous works and publish them anonymously on AO3. You can do that. You can orphan fix. Well, not orphan, but you can publish things as anonymous. You can do that. If you don't want people to find out or link it back to you under a specific username, yeah. You can write things and just orphan them or post them as anonymous. Yeah. I like writing ideas for stories, but I don't like finishing them. I just like coming up with ideas. I have so many ideas for like stories that I want to like see or at least write or something, but I don't know. I can't, when I sit down to actually write and work on them, my brain goes like, no. All I can write is isekai, but yeah, isekai. You know, surprisingly, a lot of my stories don't feature isekai. They just feature their own worlds. You know what's a great world building? You know what like amazing world building exists out there? Witch Hat Atelier. I love Witch Hat Atelier. That's so good. I love that world. It's so good. I've heard, yes, if you like fantasy plot lines and magic and stuff like that, watch or read Witch Hat Atelier. There's an anime coming out. They've announced it. There's an anime and I'm very excited for it. I'm so excited. They actually have a side story of cooking too. If you want to like read like a slice of life cooking manga, but in the same universe as Witch Hat Atelier. They look so goofy and I already picked it up, but the storyline's so good. You gotta get past the cone hats. You gotta get past the metaphorical wizard dunce hats. Okay? You gotta get past it. Like, the storyline is so good. You find out there's a reason why they wear those hats. But the art style is actually really pretty once you get into it because the author's style is just so different. I would recommend getting into the food manga version first because it gets you like a taste of the world building without, I guess, getting into the actual storyline. Maybe I read it backwards, but I picked it up through the kitchen first because I knew nothing about the characters. But it was good to just look at and be like, ah, food. The world building and everything through the food. None of the food exists in real life, but like the way they describe it and the way they catch the food and the way they like do things just is so well written. Because you know how every single time you read a cooking manga, right, that's in a fantasy world, they're like, ah yes, I pick these things called cucumbaras. But they taste like tomatoes, but they're exactly the same thing as tomatoes. But they're pronounced differently in this world's language. No. Witch Hat Atelier goes out of its way to create entirely new foods, like to create entirely new ingredients that don't even exist. They go out of their way to just create things. They're like, oh, this is a crystal. Like one of the chapters is like, this is a crystal butterfly. And they go out of their way to catch their ingredients. And they prepare the thing in a way that's like unique and different. And you're like, oh, I would have never imagined that these crystal butterflies that they caught as a food ingredient would be used for like a soup or something like that. Or like for a cookie. Because they're like, oh, these things are basically like, you can substitute these for sugar or whatever. Or something like that, I don't remember. But they use each ingredient that don't even exist in such a unique way. And I really like that. I mean, with the exception of the most common things like flour or sugar or butter or whatever. That always exists. But the way that they get those things is different too. Because they're like, oh, it's not just like milk, it's milk from like this specific animal that doesn't even exist. But it's always fine, like whenever I read a manga that's like isekai cooking, it throws me out where they're like, it's a isekai world, but don't worry, we have cows. Cows exist. Wow. What animal is that? That's a cow. We're gonna bring back the concept of crop rotate, like beans or specifically the manga ones. I need soy sauce. They always bring back the soy sauce production and the miso. Of like, okay, I don't care that you're getting soy sauce from a nut because it somehow manages to taste exactly like soy sauce, but like, can we be creative? Can we be creative, please? Soy sauce and mayo? It's not mayo, it's miso. Sometimes mayo too, but they always act like it's some magical creation. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, I've never tried soy sauce before. And they're like, I need my Japanese cooking. I'm like, okay, calm down. Okay. Chill. There's so many out there where they go out of their way to go through the entire step and they start creating their own factories. There was one that I read where they bring back the soy sauce because they were like, oh, all my potions taste like soy sauce and everybody says potions taste bad. But when I taste them, they taste like sauce. And everyone's like, why are you cooking with potions? Because they taste like soy sauce, apparently. I'm like, what? I've seen mayo. Nobody in Eastern Europe has sauce on bread. Oh my god. When they act like it's revolutionary, they're like, what is this? And it's a sandwich. Wow, this is so innovative. You've put bread and ingredients on the inside. Wow, I've never heard of this sandwich before. You should sell the rest. It's bread! It's bread! It's a sandwich! I swear. Or they act like, oh my god, you eat horse feed and it's literally rice. Like, there's just something about Japanese manga, cooking manga, where they have the exact same like storyline. Wow, I want to find white rice and soy sauce, my two favorite things in the universe, and then go out of the way to like source it. And like sashimi and stuff like that, like Japanese food. An isekai that takes place in medieval Europe, where they dress like nobles. I really enjoy when they create chocolate and acknowledge that sugar is way too expensive to produce. I read one where they talked about the process of chocolate and how much effort it took. It was so funny. They were like, I hate making chocolate because I have to crush the beans and I have to roast them and then I have to crush them again and peel off the shell individually. And then I have to process it, separate them, grind it into a powder, and they have to do it all by hand. And then they're like, man, I hate making chocolate. It was so funny. It took me out. I was reading it, I was like, yeah, chocolate it's a process. It is a process. Yeah, and then they're like, oh my god, everything's expensive. It gets me too when they're like, I want to create a sweet store, but I want to make everything affordable. And it's like, do you know how much sugar costs? What do you mean you want to sell to peasants? What do you mean you want to sell to the common folk? Do you know how much sugar costs? Do you know how much do you know how much ingredients cost? What are you doing? How are you staying in business? I want a realistic isekai fantasy where they do, I don't know, normal things. I want realistic fantasy. I remember reading a villainess manhwa where she wanted to start a bakery and she got one after her husband left her for the heroin. And she started tweaking when she looked into the logistics. Yeah. like, I don't know, somehow they become an expert in managing a business. It's like, okay, yeah, somehow you become a business expert. You know how to manage books and everything. Like, it's one thing if in their previous life they were an accountant, right? Because I've seen fics like that too, where they're like, oh, I was an accountant in my past life and I was managing books. But then I isekai'd because I died from overworking and I've always wanted to run a sweet store. Sure, that's understandable because, you know, they did numbers. They're fine with that. They know how to run a business. But when they're like some random person and they know how to perfectly execute like factories and you're like, who are you? Where are you getting this knowledge from? It was so good because she was so real, but then the Duke of North, who always liked her, came by and she decided running a store wasn't for her. Dang, she's so real for that. She's so real for that. Me too. They were like, hey, I'm going to pay you to do nothing. I'd be like, hell yeah. Sign me up. I want to be that hermit in a garden. Take me back. Take me back to the medieval era where they would hire homeless guys to sit in their garden to pretend to be sages and pay them absurd amounts of money for their living expenses so that they could pretend to be homeless and pretend to like show off to their guests and be like, oh yes, this is our sage that we keep in the garden. She just dropped everything up me. No! How dare she? She's been converted. We've lost a real one. No. I want to be a mysterious sage in the garden. They can pay me to sit there and look mysterious and edgy. Even back then when, like, you know how they always say it was like, oh, it's the most horrible thing to ever be. They gentrified my girl boss and Angel lost his wings. Exactly. We've lost a real one. We've lost a real one. No. 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 My girl. What a mood though, I guess. Good for her. At the same time, damn. Damn. No, I wanna... You know how back, like, long time ago in harem courts, right? Especially when reading fics about... Not fic, manga. Or, like, manhwa. About, like, the inner courts and, like, ancient, like, empires and whatever. With, like, the emperor and his concubine court harem. Stuff like that, right? They always act like it's the end of the world when they join a harem as the lower rung of a concubine. It's like, it's so comfortable though. You have servants waiting on you. You don't even get visited by anybody. Nobody can touch you because you're inner court surrounded by women. And then nobody's after you because you're not at a high rank. Sure, it might be boring, there's nothing else to do. You can't talk to people and you're like constantly worried about status and whatever. Because you offend the wrong person and then they will try to kill you. Yeah, the eunuchs, but this one who's taught is actually not castrated. Yeah. That's just the plot of Apothecary Diaries. But they always act like it's the end of the world. Like, you do realize that even if you're in the inner court or whatever, if you reach a certain point, you can get married to a general and move out. Like, that does happen. Like, you're not stuck there forever. And even if you do, it's a cushy life. It's comfortable. You don't have to, like... Usually the emperor is not going to visit you. They're not going to visit some lowly person that they just added to the court on the purpose of, I don't know, just having women in court. That's it. Right? I don't even know the purpose of how they choose people. It's usually for the sake of status. Like, noblemen's daughters or like rich people want to have their daughters in the court as a status symbol. Because then they can use it to their advantage, being like, oh, we can now ask a favor of the empire because our daughter is part of your harem or whatever, so you have to, like, help us out because we are part of family. In real life, it was because lower concubines were used instead of love, so if the emperor had violent taste, he'd beat the lower concubines and treat the high concubines as a wife. Interesting. Depends. I always find it very interesting to like read about like ancient court China or like ancient court. It did exist in Korea or in Japan. They all had their own versions of like harems and courts and whatever. It was always interesting to read. Interesting. Yeah. There's just whenever I read stuff like that, it's always drama. There's so much drama. But they don't focus on lower rank things. They don't focus on lower rank servants. They always focus on like the upper court, the main people, because it's more interesting. It's like, oh, so and so offended this person, this general, and now like half their family's dead. Hu Xiao War, 7 billion dead. Strategic victory. I don't know. I have a friend who's really, really into C-dramas specifically. She likes K-dramas too, but she also likes C-dramas. She likes C-dramas because she likes the harem plots. Not even for the harem plots, just for the like the drama. And I'm like, do you ever get bored of reading like very similar inner court politics stuff? And she's like, no, I love the drama, I love the politics. I'm like, okay, good for you. It's kind of boring to me and I could never, but good for you. And she'll tell me about it. She'll be like, yo, according to this one I was reading, and this happens, and then this happens, and this happens. I'm like, okay, I don't know. And then they throw in the Shanwu, the martial arts, and then the cultivation in it, and I'm like, what is happening? What are these clans? How do you keep track of 50 characters that show up at regular intervals? I could never. And every episode's like an hour long. I could never watch K-dramas, I could never watch C-dramas or anything like that. They're just too long for me. How do you pay attention? How do you know what's happening? Like, I can watch anime, because anime is like pretty short, like 24 minutes each. Sure. And it's like once a week. Sometimes longer if you skip a week, but my god. I will have to say isekai court medieval manhwa have totally gaslit me into adding a lady knight competent assistant to a main character I write. Yeah, it's your Watson to your Sherlock. You have to have somebody behind the scenes supporting you in at least like some way. In at least one way. Like, you can't do stuff. Because if you write a character who's too perfect, I think it gets boring. Like, if you're like, oh, this is my main character, they can do everything, they're so perfect, they're so good at their job, then it kind of gets boring. Then they become like a, what they call, Mary Sue character, or Gary Sue. You don't want a character who's like perfect. You want a character with like at least some kind of flaws so that they have a goal to achieve. It's not even, it's more like Night Slice. That guy, and she nods with a simple hamburger or hot dog style, sir. So like, Saber. Saber from... Yeah, it's Saber from, I forgot. Fate Stay Night, Fate. Saber, but less personality. Yeah. Devoted Knight is always peak. I like when it's done in like a funny way, like when the character isn't like, when they're like a knight, but they're also kind of like, they're like not even like yandere, but they're like just unhinged. They're like crazy. They're like, oh, you hurt them, I'm gonna go like wild. A damningly loyal melody. I find that's a common trope too, where they have that maid who's like secretly an assassin. I always see that in isekais. Oh, they're a maid, but they have like strap-ons. They have like the knives hidden underneath the skirt. I don't like assassin maids too much. I feel like I see it often. It's a common trope. It's a common trope in isekai, I don't know why. It's like it's a trope that exists, and it's always the same type of characters. It's like, oh, this is an assassin maid who's really good at her job. Or they have like the childhood friend who was like secretly royalty, or the wizard tower who's like mysterious and like kind of a failure because they don't eat. They're so common. What's the point of knights? Just hire more maids? Well, there was one I read that was actually did it in a pretty interesting way. If you've ever read the manga called Poison Princess, they're all trained to have like some kind of, because they're raised to be spies. So like all of them are raised to have like a specific type of like ability in combat and ability to like survive, because they're trained for that reason. It is actually pretty interesting. Wizard said don't eat. Yeah, exactly. They're all written like that. They're always written as like, oh, they're a picky eater, or they don't eat, and then they're all like eccentric and they live in their tower and they don't go outside. It's like, yes, this is the neat character. This is the hikikomori character of, I don't know, the isekai. Someone needs to write a story about opening a delivery restaurant near the center of the Mage Tower. I feel like that exists. Oh my god, I'm getting flashbanged by my PC right now. My night mode just turned off, and my screen is so bright. Oh gosh, everything's so bright. My gosh, I cannot see. Everything's so bright. I feel like I have read an exact storyline like that. Just not a popular one. It was like a manhwa, the Korean manhwa, about like one of those returnees. Right, returnees that they food delivery people. It's interesting. It's kind of funny. There was one I read about this guy who would bribe, like the wizard into making things for them. They're like, I need this mass destruction power weapon. I hold it over your head in exchange for a sandwich, and they're like, okay. And that's what they do. They're like, okay, yeah. Uber Eats in another world, having no job upgrade after being isekai would end me. Oof. Oof. Can you imagine? Like, I want to reverse isekai, but instead of being isekai'd as the truck, as like being hit by a truck, I want the truck driver to get sent to another world. And that is your job. You are a truck delivery person in another world. Can you imagine that? I isekai'd into another world as a delivery driver, and now I have to deliver mail. That's 100% something I read. Oh no, it exists already. Amazon worker isekai into another world, and they have to deliver packages. I have to deliver packages in another world. The grind never stops. The grind never stops. You can never escape. You could never escape. You know how depressing that would be? How sad that would be? Like, hey, you get sent to another world and like, chop chop, wake up, it's time to get to your daily slave job. And you're like, yes, manager. He turns into a murder for hire because he drives a truck. I want to read one about like a delivery driver or something. Not just like somebody who, I read the one where it's like some guy, he acts as like the Grim Reaper, but as a truck driver. He's like, oh, so-and-so needs to get isekai to this world, I'm gonna go hit them. Not the murderer for hire, like isekai Grim Reaper. I want like just a regular person getting sent with a truck to another world. I read that, yeah, that's like a pretty common one. I know there's one out there where it's about this girl, she like drives around with the trailer van, and I'm like, dang, that's an OP power. I read two. They're both cooking mangas. One of them, she drives around in like a travel trailer, like an RV van basically. She drives around with a camping van, and I'm like, dang, that's OP. And then the other one, she can just travel into her own pocket dimension and it's a kitchen. Yeah, she adopts a demon. There's another one where she opens up like a pocket dimension with a kitchen. I like that one. I think they got canceled or something and they never finished. They never updated. I'm kind of sad. Or the updates are really slow, but I guess they were dropped or something. Or the author went on hiatus or something. Who knows? Yeah, I remember reading a couple of chapters and I was like, that's a pretty interesting concept, but they never finished it. There was one that I read where they isekai the entire house. It was like the saint and the saint sister, and then they just yeeted the entire house over, like Dorothy. They just show up one day and the entire house comes with it. I'm like, wow, the Wizard of Wonderland. The Wizard of Wonderland has worked their power. They got someone with the whole house. I had one soft one way back, a saint's sister who goes with her. And she experience with the saint. That's the one. That's the one. The entire house comes with it. It's the saintess and the saintess's sister, and the sister is like the younger sister who has like a lot of power. And then the older sister just kind of chill and she cooks. Yeah, the whole house comes. The ended with them looking at the stars. Yeah, I finished. It was good. I really liked that one. I'm in the process of rereading it too. Yeah, I've been rereading. I like some of them, some like some cooking mangas just hit, you know? And I want to reread them. Or I read it a long time ago and I'm like, I want to reread it. Because they're cute. Also, by the way, I recommend, I always say this, I think I say this like every stream, but there's this one cooking manga that I like that's like really funny. And it's called Hell's Kitchen. I think it technically ended, but it also kind of discontinued. It ends on like this weird open-ended ending. Because the author dropped the story, but it's pretty good. It's about this guy who summons like a demon. And he didn't even summon the demon. The demon just kind of picked this dude out of the crowd and was just like, you there, you will cook. You will become a chef. And the dude's like, I don't want to become a chef. And then he's like, no, I want you to cook so then I can like teach you how to cook so that I can eat your soul because I want to eat the soul of a true chef. And I want to groom you into becoming a chef essentially. I read one recently where they summoned a saintess, but she wasn't a saintess, so she cooks. And the main plotline is that she's fat. I read that one. She's just there. And she like makes food, and the only reason why she's cooking is because she hates that world's food. She's like, oh, this food's bland and it's flavorless. So she teaches everybody recipes, and everyone always like acts like it's the most like amazing thing in the world. They're like, oh my god, the concept of cocktails. Oh my god, the concept of like ice cream. Something like that. And it makes me kind of sad because she acts like a certain way around certain characters, which makes me feel bad because she cooks exclusively for like the main cast, like the royalty, and then everybody else around them, like the servants, they stare at her with puppy eyes and they're like, please, can I try? And she's like, no, only for like this one other person. I'm like, okay, that's kind of sad. Never made sense to me because what do you mean you never made this food? You had the ingredients. Yeah, but I guess in a world where they haven't experimented with ingredients, like maybe in some rural part of the world there is somebody out there who is actually eating good food. They just don't bother to share it with anybody else because they're just so far removed from that kingdom or whatever. Maybe it's just that kingdom. Maybe it's just that kingdom just has horrible bread, you know? She spent a chapter caramelizing onions. I felt so bad for that group. She was like, we're gonna have a competition, and whoever finishes cutting onions the fastest, like buckets, barrels of onions, we're gonna split everybody into teams. Everyone who cuts the onions and finishes the first will have a treat. And the team that loses, they get to caramelize onions for 4 hours. And I'm like, damn, they don't get a reward too? Wow. And it's fine because I guess they kind of write it off as like, oh, she's teaching the head chef recipe so that he could make it on their own. But a lot of things that she makes also require like specialized skills like magic or like a specific tool, right? And she's like, oh, I only made enough for like 4 people. I only made enough for 4 people. I'm like, what? I feel so bad for everybody. And what do you mean you only made enough for like a certain amount of people, but you have enough to like give enough to like half a team? If you had a mixed ice cream, you kill someone who ate their share. Yeah. Like, if you have enough for everyone to get a full serving, can't you like, I don't know, give everybody like a tiny little spoon or something? Like, can people not taste? But okay. Magically make 20 servings of cookies or eggs or omelets or whatever she made. Ooh, there's no way he makes ice cream ever since the 1800s. We built machines for that. It's funny because I remember she commissioned magical tools, right? To make stoves and fridges and freezers to make ice cream, right? And she didn't create an ice cream machine. She's crushing chocolate with her bare hands. With the motor and pestle, but she hasn't like gotten the staff to create like a magical tool to make ice cream. Like what? She's like, oh yeah, we'll just have magic to do that instead. We'll just have magic to do that. Like, what? What kind of backward logic? It takes 4 years in a barrel. It's not that hard to make an ice cream churn. Yeah, it's like butter. It's like a butter churn. Also, you know what gets me out of like, I can't read modern isekai that bring guns into the world. Because every single time they're like, yeah, we'll solve our problem with a revolver. Don't worry, they won't know what's coming to them. We'll just bring in the concept of military warfare. And then they go full sci-fi with it too. They're like, look at this semi-automatic rifle and my Glock. And then the concept of like C4 pipe bombs. And then we're gonna bring in the concept of camouflage. And I'm like, dang, that country never stood a chance. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you trying to colonize the entire world? Like, single-handedly. In another world with my smartphone and its consequences of isekai warfare. Yeah, when they start going into war, I'm like, oh, wow. Oh, wow. Dang. We did not need that. Oh boy. And then I stopped reading. I'm like, nope. I don't need that. Sometimes guns are warranted, but then you have like no mages and the other side does. Yeah. I mean, in a world with magic and they introduce the concept of guns, why would you ever pick magic over a gun? Because in every single world with magic, they always describe magic as having a lengthy process. You have to chant the spell out loud unless you're super good that you can do chantless magic. But even then, that takes a little bit of time because you're still summoning things. When you have a gun, it's like an instant magic spell. It's like casting fireball at the snap of a button. You have a wand essentially, that when you press a button, it's this instant cast bullet. It's just magic, not magical. Yeah. But like literally a gun is essentially a single spell weapon. It's a single spell weapon where you can just fire something equivalent to like a super fast fireball. And you just instant kill people. If you have good aim. Chantless magic is such a lame trope, it makes magic feel cheap and easy. Yeah, that too, but depends. Like, if they write it in a way. My favorite trope is when they're like, oh, magic is based off of some ancient language, and the main character looks over and then goes, oh no, that's just kanji. Nah, that's just kanji. Don't worry, I understand ancient language, it's kanji. Like, what? Sure, okay. That feels like a little bit of a cheat, but okay. Strong magic should have lengthy spell or a lot of spell rings, yeah. Or at least, how do they... I like the way when they concept it as the power of, words. There was one manga I read a long time ago. I believe the main character was like a wordsmith or something like that. And a lot of the focus on that manga specifically, the isekai, was the power of words. So spells in that manga were based off of you have to understand the concept of things. So if you you knew and you could picture in your mind what a flame looks like, you could picture in your mind like what a bomb looks like. Like, yeah, flame to fire, or like with specific spells. So the shorter the spell, the more powerful it is, and you have to be very specific with your language. You have to have like a good imagination, and you have to be able to like say specific words. So like something, oh my god, my stomach is growling. Can you hear that? Where it's like, oh, great spirits, I heed you to whatever, right? You have to say a specific type of sentence in order to like cast that spell. It was a pretty interesting concept. I don't think I've ever seen a isekai fantasy where they go that much into magical, like, practicality lessons of spells. Other than that, you could just do fragrance style, where you just you basically press spam spell. Or the other version where they just stack spells. They're like, oh, I create like 7 magic circles stacked on top of each other. Right? I stack magical spells, and it becomes like magical circuitry engineering. There was one manga I read out there that was super complicated. They were like, oh, I have to draw out magic circles physically. It was I think it was one of them about like magical artificers, where in order to cast a spell, you had to draw it out on a piece of paper. And then like channel your magic through the piece of paper to cast a spell. And that was so complicated. Because they were like, oh, this character has to connect to this character, and this character should create this certain type of symbol that will help boost this other symbol. And when 2 of them are in this chain together, it stabilizes this other spell, and blah blah blah. And I was like, dang, that's complicated. I enjoyed the art of wizards drawing magical circles with their wand. It looks sick. There's different types of magic, isn't there? There's like combat magic, and there's like alchemy type of magic. There's like magical equipment, like creation magic and stuff like that. I remember reading something where we just had to put their magic into scrolls, and you tear the magical scroll to cast it, so the MC would just walk into a room and essentially start shredding paper. Hello. Uh-oh. It said my thing disconnected for a second. Why? I think I remember seeing that. It's 3 AM. Shouldn't I head off? Maybe. Maybe. What time is it for you? Isn't it like... Aren't you in the future? Isn't it 6 AM for you or something? Or are you in the past? 12 AM? Yeah, midnight. Maybe I should. It's 3 AM. I feel bad. I was gonna play a game today, but I didn't. I said I was gonna play Just Crow things, and I ended up yapping the entire time, and it's fine. Can you tell when I first started this stream, I was like talking super fast, and now I'm kind of like slowing down? Yap sessions are always enjoyed. Yeah. You can tell that I'm getting tired, right? I start slowing down my words and I start like not making sense. Yeah. Yeah. You can tell. That's kind of funny. I wanted to play just crow things, but eh. We'll do it maybe maybe tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. But oh my gosh, my stream title on YouTube probably says like just crow things, but I wasn't actually playing just crow things. I've just been yapping the entire time. Uh-oh. That's okay. Good night, good night. I'll go to bed. Good night, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. I cannot believe I went through this entire stream and I didn't wear my headphones. I can't hear myself anymore. I can't hear myself anymore. Or I couldn't hear myself at all this stream. Normally I like listening to myself, but I didn't. Who the heck is streaming right now? I like ending stream at this time and nobody's streaming. And the only people awake at this time are people in Australia and people in like Japan. Wow, nobody's awake. Yeah, well, nobody's streaming. Okay, well, good night, everybody. I'm signing off for the... I almost said for the last time. No, signing off. This has been your host, Kyo Kamiya. Welcome to the podcast. Good night, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Have a good night. I'm going to bed. If it is